Incoming transmission.
Welcome to Saving Star Trek, a show talking about one of my favorite shows, Enterprise. I am Linda Park. I play Hoshi Sato and also Empress Sato. So enjoy this show. I love that it's finding a whole new life on the streaming services. And you better hit that like button or Empress Sato will not be happy. I mean, she could make a storm happen, and she could really make your life hard. Anyways, enjoy the show, hit that like button, and thank you for being a fan of Enterprise.
Hello, sirs and madams, and welcome back to Saving Star Trek, where we have finally gotten to the end of the SideTrekd journey, which brings us actually to where we would be in A Mirror Darkly. We already really deeply analyzed this one for our Halloween show. It seemed appropriate. We're going to go back to it to a degree, but mostly this is going to be a mirror universe discussion as a whole. We're going to talk in retrospect about everything we've seen. And the poll is live. If you're coming through later or you're here now, hit the like. It's real important and helps us out. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. And we really appreciate it too. You guys are the best. Again, welcome, sirs and madams. And let's say hello to the Saving Star Trek crew. Germ, sir, hello. How are you?
How's it going?
Doing all right. It's my favorite time of the week. It's Star Trek time. I don't know who else gets excited the way I do. I guess it would make sense that I have a Star Trek show because I'm fired up for it. You fired up for the episode, Charm?
This is a pretty good episode, yeah. And hopefully I can keep this mic on for a little bit longer. My neighbor decided to light a jar vent on fire.
Yeah.
What?
They're
lit what on fire?
The dryer vent because I guess it backed up with the lint and there was a bit of a fire.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
That happened to my neighbors like when I was a kid. They had like a fire because of that. That's a real problem. You're lucky you didn't have it, get worse. Thank God she was around when it happened. Hey, you know what? The last one I found almost killed me. But you know what? I wouldn't mind running into another. You know what? I too like to live dangerously. We got Resolute here and out there. Sean here and out there. Jamie Lynn, hello. I just saw her over at the Dead Man stream. The Dead Man I see here is the Dead Man will be along presently, unless he hasn't decloaked yet. The Real Head Case is here. John the Beagle Dad. Kel-El, sir, hello. And the Trek Reviewer, hello to all of you. And hello to Sean. Sir, you're doing a tremendous job. How are you, sir?
Doing well as best as could be expected. Just got over a bit of a health thing, but I'm doing much better now. I had a diverticulitis flare up, which is always fun, but it seems to have run its course. So
thank God. That sounds like a real drag.
It's painful. It's very painful, but good news is it got me back eating right, back walking normally. I probably lost 10 pounds now, back on track. So
fantastic.
Here we go. Yeah.
All right. So Sean has righted the ship, and I have Battle Bridge lighting in my apartment because I think it's fun, and it's just more fun than coming on with the lights on. I'll get some LED light panels down the road, but then
that's when you turn 15, right?
Yeah, I don't even know if you can joke around about that anymore with the way things are these days, with certain things, especially that. Hello, Michelle. Welcome to the show. It's good to see you. You know what? I think that we've reached a point here with the Mirror Universe where Deep Space Nine made it almost impossible to enjoy. It was to the Mirror Universe what Voyager was to the Borg. We had casual walk-ons. We had, hey, what's going on, Mirror Jennifer? Want to watch my kid what the fuck? We had consistent rebranding over and over saying that it was the parallel universe or the alternate universe. We stayed away from calling it the mirror universe, even though it was known as that by fans, and they were using mirror analogies in every title. Then finally, at the end there, we have Rom and Quark figuring out like it's not a bizarro universe. They had the same conversation that we have, speaking for the critics, and I almost feel like they answered the critics in that episode. They're like, yeah, like listen, like here's our take on it. That was just, it wasn't like a defiant answer to the critic. It was just like, all right, people have called us out, this is the deal. And that conversation between those two characters is probably when they when they discuss some of the things that were out there about the Deep Space Nine mirror universe. Like, how come people aren't the opposite, brother? You know, I don't understand why Cisco isn't white, sir. Yeah.
I love Rom. Rom is so good. I just watched the DS9 episode where he finally poured his heart out to Lita. But in that episode, he was going to talk to her. He goes, so bye. And he just leaves. We've all been there, right?
Yes, and I think we all have learned to love the Ferengi from Deep Space Nine. They were to the Ferengi the opposite of what Voyager was to the Borg. People are talking out there in the chat. Let's see if we got any Trek theories going on. A lot of people exchanging hails. It's awesome. Trek reviewer, it's Admiral, sir. Admiral. Trek reviewer, Sean, have a security team take Trek reviewer and show him into the agonizer booth. So, I will, sir.
We are in the mirror universe tonight, so we do have that available.
Yeah, you know what? Since I was captain last time, since this is the mirror universe second time, why don't you be captain? Now, I have some notes, but maybe do you want to maybe tell us the story of the mirror universe? You want to take the lead on this one?
Starting from where?
Well,
like just
as far as we could talk about the whole mirror concept for a minute more, and then we could talk about the plot of this episode and where it fits in and what we think of it, because I would point out it is both a sequel to one episode and a prequel to another in TOS. This has got really
you're talking
TOS coding.
You're talking about the Enterprise episode that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, at this point, we maybe start moving a little more strongly towards the episode so we can talk about it and then move forward with some more deeper mirror analysis. But we did have our Deep Space Nine moment, or we could continue the Deep Space Nine thing a little longer. At this point, really, having covered this episode, we can talk more extensively about the mirror universe kind of throughout this, because like I said, we sort of reached that point. I'll just take a minute to say I did some research on this one. The phrase "in a mirror darkly," or more traditionally "through a glass darkly," originates from the Bible, specifically 1 Corinthians 13:12. And then to that matter, in the movie Patton, he has a poem inspired by it. And first, he says a couple of things that we'll all recognize from the movie about who attacked the Romans and how many of them there were. That speech goes right before the talk of the poem, and then he reads the poem. So, Sean, would you do me a favor and in any voice you want, do the Patton poem that I have put in the private chat for you?
Sure. I'll just read it normal.
Sure. It's a great poem.
Through the travails,
yes.
Okay. I never know with your spelling.
I cut and paste that.
Oh, okay. All right, so that's actually, it's safe.
Yeah, that's okay. Safe.
All right.
Good question, though. It's legitimate. Hold on, let me see if my brain is working. Hold on, let me just check my internal spell check.
Working.
Yeah, it's glitched out as usual. Go ahead.
Okay. Through the travail of ages, midst the pomp and toils of war, have I fought and strove and perished, countless times among the stars, as if through a glass and darkly, the age-old strife I see, when I fought in many guises and many names, but always me.
Awesome. Very well read. Inspirational. So that's the
I should
poem
have
that
pre-read
Patton.
The Carthaginians defending the city were attacked by 3 Roman legions. Arab women stripped them of their tunics and their swords and lances. The soldiers lay naked in the sun. 2,000 years ago, I was here. Well, this match will not be postponed.
Nice. Nice. Not thrilling, but nice.
That is thrilling. 10 Academy Awards. Come on. Welcome everybody. So the channel has an association with the phrase. We had some fun with it. That's the moment from the movie. Thank you, Sean. Well read. And we all remember that part of Patton. And Sean, do you know who the poet was?
Yates?
George S. Patton himself.
Oh, was it? Wow. Man of many talents.
Yeah, he says, he was like, what was it the poet wrote? And then he says the poem, and he looks at at Omar Bradley, and he's like, you know who the poet was, Brad? And he looked like, shakes his head, no, it's like, me. And then the next scene is him looking through the field glasses at the battle with the Rommel's subordinate.
So
but anyway,
did he really believe that he had been like reincarnated from back then, or?
He absolutely really believed he had been reincarnated over and over since then. And he absolutely, when he was talking about like a chance like this won't happen for another 1,000 years, he was speaking in retrospect in the fact that like he had a chance like that once before, but maybe he hadn't been in command that time. Like in the last life, he was only a centurion and not like, the tribune of the entire Roman army or Napoleon himself. Like he was only like Field Marshal Ney or something. He wasn't able to affect the outcome the way he was in this life.
So 1,000 years, he may have been able to go and wipe out Admiral Nake or Commodore Nake, whatever that bitch is. He's gonna join the Dominion.
You mean Admiral Aki from Star Trek, Starfleet Academy?
Yeah.
Fantastic show. Yeah, you know what? He could prevent that fantastic show from happening. Yeah, it's my personal belief that George Patton was reincarnated. And then his current reincarnation is me. That's my belief. And that his next incarnation will be James T. Kirk. But we have to correct the timeline if we're going to do that. And we can't do it without all of your help. So welcome to the show. And like I said, hit the like and follows. And you know what? We're talking Mirror Universe and specifically the Mirror Universe episode of Enterprise. I would say this. It might be the very best Mirror Universe tale because it was so well conceived. I'll throw that one to Germ.
It's definitely up there, but I still prefer the TOS episode to this.
The TOS one does have some logical and visual problems that we don't mind. Like we don't mind seeing Uhura's stomach. But like the way the clothes changed and stuff like, there's a few logical leaps in there that a 1960s audience was more familiar with. So I guess, is it fair to say maybe your belief is the advantage that Enterprise might have is simply that it's a more modern TV show doesn't depend on things that you could somewhat take for granted with a 1968 audience, right? Could that be part of what I'm thinking here?
Maybe, but still, as a concept, the TOS episode pulls it off a lot better.
All right,
you don't
fair
need
enough.
That in-depth story. You just need the more aggression, the conniving part. You don't really need to go that deep into.
Ooh, that brings us to our next question for Sean. Sean, I would ask you about this. I felt this was my feeling. I don't know. You tell me how you think about it. It's very aware of how bad the Deep Space Nine Mirror episodes were. It's as harmful as the show Voyager was to the Borg on Deep Space Nine. So we don't have like a transition between universes. We just stick with one universe. Like I think it makes a lot of really strong decisions right away.
Yeah, it does. But the cool thing is it does so, but while still adding a little bit to the lore of the Prime universe, with some of the things we see and, President Archer and stuff like that, it still adds to the canon we know. And it did it wonderfully. I look at it as a sequel to Mirror Mirror. Really, because it kind of continues. Well, it adds as a sequel to both the Tholian Web and Mirror Mirror.
Right. I think it's pure prequel on.
I guess it's a prequel to. Well, is it a prequel?
It just all it does is give us some ideas that can roll out later, right? It depends on the Tholian Web for its mechanization. The causal is Tholian Web, so that's cool. It's definitely only a sequel to that. But as far as its relationship with Mirror Mirror, like nothing that happens in it would affect Mirror Mirror whatsoever.
Well, right. Because in Mirror Mirror, let me ask this: which aired first, Mirror Mirror or Tholian Web? Mirror Mirror was first.
Tholian Web is season 3.
Yeah, I think so. So Mirror Mirror is season 2 or 1. I'm ashamed to say I don't know.
Season 2.
So it's kind of a prequel and a sequel at the same time.
Right, but it's distinct. It's a prequel to Tholian Web. Okay, so Tholian Web.
It's a sequel to Tholian Web.
Sequel to Tholian Web, purely. That air date is November 15th, 1968.
Okay.
Let's check Mirror Mirror.
I have my cloaked drinking glass today.
Mirror Mirror air date October 6th, 1967, a year earlier. So
Mirror Mirror was first. Okay.
It would be season 2. And Tholian Web is the beginning of season 3. All right, but I think it does the best service for Tholian Web. It really does a lot for Tholian Web. It improves it tremendously, and I have never thought of Tholian Web the same way since. However, when we watched Mirror Mirror, I didn't feel any knock-on or carryover effect from this whatsoever, and I felt that it was sort of launched cleanly and on its own in a way that didn't depend on or get changed by Enterprise at all. And it also doesn't have any effect on even the silliness of the Deep Space Nine episodes. It just leaves them alone. It doesn't have to touch any of that. The whole intended thing is hundreds of light years away anyhow. They don't need to care. So they keep it very, very simple.
It's very self-contained.
Cool.
It doesn't rely on any interaction between the universes aside from the Defiant being there. I thought I think throughout this whole show we're going to be giving our review. I mean, because I can do nothing but praise this episode. So
it was written by Sussman, and part 2 is Sussman and Kodo, if I read the credits correctly. And I would say it's really excellent Star Trek. It's one of the best episodes of Star Trek we get from Enterprise, and it's probably one of the best episodes of Star Trek.
Real Headcase is asking what's in my glass. It's just water.
So only allowable answer anyway.
Nah, I mean, I would say if it was something else, no, but I'm in healing mode.
If you say it though, they regard your stream as unfriendly. Like we're only at the point now where you can sort of mention that sort of thing. So weird, like ongoing YouTube 101, and maybe help people understand why we have to use the YouTube euphemisms. But what's more fun than saying that he's got a penchant for red rum, or he deleted a few people? Like Howard Stern was funnier when he had to speak in riddles than when he was able to say it outright, where he became unfunny very quickly.
Then he became a pretentious asshole too at the same time. But
that took years and years. He was unfunny right away. Asshole.
Well,
he was always a pretentious asshole, but it didn't reach toxically unentertaining. And also, we're deep into this enough now that I'll say hello to Vic over there in the greener pastures. Hello, sir. And the other couple of people watching over there. I'll send you a couple of emojis. Sirs, madams, how are you? You're doing a tremendous job, all of you.
So, hey, and we actually have madams today. We've got Michelle and Jamie, right?
We do. We have several madams, and whatever madams come through later. We salute all who come through, both sirs and madams.
Thank you for joining our toxic layer.
Yeah, you know what? If you put our transcript into like an AI, and you can do that to anyone's transcript, I advise it as a way of self-improvement for YouTubers. You know what? It comes back, your show is strongly right-coded. And I'm like, but we're politically neutral. They're like, you rated women's bodies, and you do the other things like we just did, like it's, for whatever reason. You know what?
Like 3 of 10?
That and stuff like that. But here's the thing, like, then that's just a construct by society programmed into an AI that trains off Reddit. To a degree, you have to assume some liberal, like every opinion you get from Grok is a little bit aggressively liberal, and a little bit unrealistically so. So, you know what? I think that people can be politically neutral and still talk about the facts as they are, as things that we see, like the evolution of mirror universe episodes, or the misuse of the mirror universe by the people who did Star Trek Discovery, and their obsession with it. And how I guess we're going to mirror that Star Trek away and then just not talk about it anymore, because I don't see Paramount putting that out in any way, shape, or form. Those people who have physical copies will have physical copies. This decision to get the ownership back from Kurtzman is going to get worse before it gets better. Remember, guys, they're holding back a wave of shit Trek. There are still like 16 more shit Trek episodes, maybe even 26. Is there a season and a half of Strange New Worlds, and an entire season of Starfleet Academy. So, I mean, plenty of sci-fi CSI before we're out of the woods on this one.
Is that going to make it easier for us to watch, knowing that it's coming to an end, or is it going to make it almost worse?
I think it makes it all feel like a Roman triumph, to be honest with you. I feel very rewarded knowing that it's over, and I feel that this channel and every one of you who are out there helping us, and you, my co-panelists, were a major part in why the show failed. We, over the course of something like 40 different shows where we covered New Trek and bit the bullet for the sake of the fans, especially since Section 31, where we were doing the greatest New Trek viewing numbers of all time, period. We must have showed enough people to make a difference. Hey, PBE 777.
Hey, PB, I didn't feel like I took a bullet. I think I felt like I took it somewhere else after watching those things.
You kind of did. And you know what? I was speaking to someone of it the other day at my place of employ, and they're like, you know, what don't you like about it? Well, and I said, well, first of all, they don't hire anybody if they can get away with it. And that person was like, what do you mean? It's like, you know, they're really cheap and go all in on the labor saving. They won't have any craftsmanship to what they do. And so that kind of like resonated with them, you know, when you explain the empty sets and stuff like that. And then they were just like, you know, all they really knew of it is what they had heard from people extolling its virtues. And I'm like, all that stuff is like more like coding and hand signals with a Star Trek like veneer. They just have strange ideas. And like one of my coworkers, like this gay dude who loves old Star Trek, and he's older, he's like 65. And he was just like, they don't believe in any of that bullshit. That polygamy skit, my God, the stupidest thing I ever saw in my life. And I was just like, it was terrible. And the guy had a great one-liner. He goes, great Roddenberry's ghost. Yeah, I think he was basically on Futurama, because Calculon yells great Shatner's ghost. But let's talk for a moment about Mirror Darkly. And again, I'll ask the next question to Sean. I guess gets the next one. I guess the next one kind of has to go to both of you. I've introduced it, but the question is, it's widely regarded as some of the best mirror universe stories in all of Star Trek. It's fun, it's action-packed, and it's got a strong late season highlight for the show. I would ask that you rank them. Do your best to rank the episodes in order. What do you think the episode order is for our Mirror Universe episodes of Star Trek?
You mean all of them, DS9 through this one?
You can go franchise. You can just go franchise.
Well, I mean, for Enterprise is easy because we just have these two. TOS has the one.
I mean, like, which franchise do you think handles it best? It's the question I asked the audience.
Well, I think TOS, like Germ. I'll agree with Germ, like, because it establishes everything. That was the foundation, and it's a strong foundation because look how much spun off of it. I think we have to call that the best because if it wasn't good, we wouldn't have had all of these other episodes through two other series.
Phobos. It's the Phobos with one of the strong opinions he's known for. There are some people who would say that. I think there's maybe 20 episodes of Enterprise that are really, really, really top good Star Trek. I don't know if we had to make a list of the top 100 Star Trek episodes, how many of them would be Enterprise, but first of all, hello. And
I'd throw a couple of them in there at a top 100 for sure.
I would say like it might be as many as 7 or 8 though.
You damn sure get more top Enterprise episodes than Voyager episodes. I'll tell you that much.
Probably true.
Yeah. Sticking in the context of the mirror universe, I'll go first with a hot take. I believe that Enterprise has the single best mirror universe story. I believe it builds really well on all the other ones. It takes a lesson learned from Deep Space Nine and doesn't do any of the things that make the Deep Space Nine episodes bad. It stays away from all of it. It strongly leans into not 1 but 2 TOS episodes, having almost no effect on the mirror episode and only having an afterthought effect on the Tholian web. It actually arguably could be said to improve Tholian web. Hello, dead man. Hello, Ray Lucard. It could arguably be said to improve Tholian web because it is such an interesting way when we watched it again to think of it from the perspective of this episode. And I don't feel it hurts. I don't feel it hurts the TOS one.
I don't think it improves Tholian web. Yeah, I don't think it improves the Tholian web. I think it expands it and makes it maybe, well, it might make it more interesting. I don't think it improves the episode, but it gives it.
It doesn't improve it. It makes it. It gives it an added dimension that's welcome. How's that sound?
Yeah, it makes it feel like chapter 1 of what I'll say a 4-part story, and so we got Tholian web, these 2 episodes. And then, and I know a lot of people might disagree, but there is the Star Trek Continues episode that shows what another part of what happened with Kirk in the Defiant when it crossed over.
I'll let you focus on that at the end, and you can give that like a full 5 minutes because I know you felt strongly about it. I didn't have time to watch all of it. When I did watch their episode, it was excellently written and extremely lore heavy and would take 2 episodes to unpack because it's really richly written into a fan's point of view and from a fan's point of view with everything a fan would want and not one moment left out. It's like 68 minutes long or something like that. It's good,
it's good, but it does kind of cap on another part of the Tholian web. So I include that in my whole little bucket there of the mirror universe.
Actually, so Sean, what would your hierarchy be? Mine would be Enterprise, TOS, and then Deep Space Nine last, as far as how they handle it.
Oh, it'd be TOS and then Enterprise and then DS9.
Okay. Jerm, would you so where everyone concurs, all 3 providers have bet 10,000 quatloos.
You have to put the DS9 episodes way, way, way back in 3rd place. They're finishing after they've taken down all the race memorabilia. The only ones left cheering them on are their relatives and one guy covering the Special Olympics.
Hold on a second.
Admiral Teague, incoming super chat.
RRTNZ says with a very generous Zedlin super chat, hello, my friend and contributor to my X bio. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. That's right. And give a like to that to that chat if you can. Is that what? At what point did chats become likable? They don't give you the option of liking this one. I don't see it.
I got the thumbs up on mine. I gave it a one of them.
Oh, there you go. I heart your chat, and I like it. All right, and it's good to see everybody. We got everybody here. All right, so and look, I'm wearing my Mirror Universe uniform.
Well, can I comment on PBE's comment here?
Yes.
Okay, so I think Mirror is the most important and the best, as far as, because it set such a solid foundation that was so strong that you have to give that the importance it deserves. However, I have more fun watching the Enterprise one. It's cooler to me. Does that make sense? Like, I can say I can have a favorite Star Trek episode, but I can say that there might be another one that I might qualify as the best episode. That makes, some episodes are just fun to watch. Some you can subjectively say this one is the best or it's better than those, but I may have more fun watching it. That makes sense?
Yeah, it seems to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. There's good and then there's, enjoyable. And yeah, the Enterprise one definitely wins out on watchability. I think it really improves the Tholian web viewing experience if you watch it in mind. Has anyone watched the Tholian web since and not thought of this?
Oh, no.
Kind of hard not to, since they're directly connected.
But, like, is anyone pissed that they connected it? Like, when we see the Gorn in this, the Gorn is awesome. And no one feels like they took away Kirk's achievement. He's a mirror Gorn in some other universe. We've thrown asterisks all over it with one of the best beginnings we ever saw. This is one of the best episodes of Star Trek ever made because of the awesome beginning. That open is so strong with the with the theme song from
oh yeah,
First Contact, and the fake out beginning with James Cromwell.
Do you remember watching this episode and when the opening theme came, you're like, what the fuck? I was so surprised.
What the hell is going on?
It sucked us in like that. It was so clever. It was so clever that they did that.
The other thing I remember was I already had a hateful feeling towards the TNG movies, and it was almost like when I watched Enterprise, I was like, why don't these guys have a movie? Like, why don't we move on from the next generation? God, I hope they don't make another Next Generation movie. Didn't they promise that last one that I was barely able to sit through would be the last? Man, like that actor was. Yeah, didn't they promise that was the end when they made it? They're like, this will be the last movie. Yeah, they're like, we're so sorry about Insurrection, sirs and madams. It was a piece of garbage. Star Trek V is so much better than Star Trek Insurrection. Oh, it's not even close. It's not even close.
I would say Insurrection's worse than Nemesis.
Insurrection is worse than most season 1 and 2 episodes, which get accused of being slow, and some of which are, but are all much stronger episodes as stories with better sci-fi angles. Like Arsenal of Freedom is better than that piece of shit movie. The Dead Man, hello, sir. Hey, we might get one. Maybe they change the direction and go movie with Enterprise. They certainly could. I would wonder.
They get United. I don't know.
We could get United.
I think United is going to be a miniseries. I'm predicting United will be a 5 or 6 part miniseries.
These are the only people I trust to do a limited run series and pull it off. I think that the people who wrote Enterprise have the potential to do limited run series really well. We're seeing it this season. Now, a lot of these stories, as we're Manny Kodo, the setting the bar pretty low, but I agree with you nonetheless. It's important that you agree. You know what? I believe that Enterprise gives you the best path forward for TV. And Manny Kodo was the one who did a lot of these season 3 episodes. He had a lot of these ideas about the 2 episode arcs. I understand. if I did the research correctly. Now, there's still extensive writing by other people. This episode, more than others, is a Sussman episode. This one was Sussman's idea, and it had been bouncing around since Observer Effect. And he in the notes I read, one of the quotes from Sussman was that he had been thinking of it when they got the Stormfront story. Like, and the way he mentioned it too, it gave it the inherited feeling that other people have mentioned about the team being handed the story. Like, he talked about, like, the World War II story with the lizard with the glowing eyes. We couldn't get as much as we wanted out of that, and it sort of suggested to us an alternate universe or a mirror universe, and that's when the seed really took hold. So like, it goes back to season 2. Think some of it, the thinking starts in season 2 when they hear that idea. Yeah, too, but we know that they didn't love that story. I thought that was a good dismount for them. Hot take, says PBE777. Overall, I was disappointed in The Next Generation. Had a few bright spots, but it never felt as good as TOS. DS9 was flat overall, but had good stories in places. I'm going to shock everyone by mostly agreeing with you. Here's how I'll qualify it. I was among the people who took 3 seasons to really get into The Next Generation. It took until season 4 where I started to acknowledge it as truly being Star Trek. And saw Picard as a captain. Did anyone else have the 3-4 season lag where you liked it, but they were inferior? Like, these guys are like kind of like head trauma Trek.
When I look back on TNG, I think I liked season 2, a lot of season 1, a lot of season 2 the most. I mean, there's more episodes in seasons 1 and 2 that I like because they were more TOS stories. They were leftover stories. They're going to be phase 2. If you, take away the synthesizer music and the people getting into the characters still, it felt more Star Trek. It felt a little bit better. And then they started getting into more drama and stuff, which is fine. But I find myself, when I go back to watch TNG, there's only a handful of episodes that I watch. I find if I go through the season, I find myself skipping a lot of episodes. There's a lot of episodes of TNG that I'm like, nope.
Let me ask you a specific question about season 1 and 2. Do you think
we have a?
Oh, hey,
we have a thing,
sir.
Admiral Teague, incoming super chat.
Nice shot, Mr. Carter. I heart your super chat, RRTNZ, and I will put it on screen. All right. Honestly, I'd rather have any new Trek episodes than have today's writers retrospectively ruin Enterprise and TOS. Well, any more than they have. We have faith in Enterprise being the source of Star Trek United if they keep MikeSussman, because he wrote or produced 70 Enterprise episodes. So you're bringing back the most authentic of the original writers you can get. He also doesn't have a notable failure that I can think of, or a bad show. The other Sussman show is called The Last Ship. I don't.
What one was that? Oh, that was the it's like a battleship or destroyer that is the last surviving naval ship, right?
Yes. Well, it was. I think they find out at the end of season 2 that there are several dozen other ships that survived. But they make the captain the Secretary of the Navy. That's how small it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very Star Trek-like, isn't it?
Never saw it. I just know the premise.
It was a fun show. I watched it. The Coof ended the show. Like, it ended during the Coof. It had
also that kind of a premise. You can't go 8 seasons with that. It'd be impossible.
Yeah, they start rolling themselves into a corner very early.
Yeah. It's too boxed in.
But it was ending no matter what, Coof or not.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I never saw the final few episodes. It was a good show, though. I watched it when I could see it. That was another show that had a problem just like Poor Sussman. Every time he gets a show, it ends up on a network that doesn't know when to put it on. Like I could never find the show reliably or know when it was on. They didn't do a great job with that. It was a pretty good show.
To add on to what you were saying,
hey Lombardi,
to Welshie there, if they bring back United, they can bring back the old guard. You know, Sussman still can write. I'm sure there's still some writers. I mean, a lot of the writers from Enterprise were Gen X folks. I mean, we're still strong. We're still working. I mean, if they get some good people and not just get rid of these younger guys that don't have any life experience and just writing their feelings.
Michael Sussman is not old yet, but he's 51 or something like that. If I remember from his bio.
He's Gen X. That guy's got
experience.
That guy could write for another 20 years.
You know what? I would prefer to have him be the showrunner of the TV side of Star Trek based on his previous work. And I don't think he would have many of the people or any of the people who wrote any of the new Star Trek on his staff. I can't see it. I can't. Maybe like if Manny Kodo was still alive, yeah, he'd be like, you know, bro, I tried to talk to them. He's like, I know, man. I believe me, I know. Like having sat through a pitch meeting with them, like think about it. Like right around the time that he meets Kurtzman, he stops making all political statements. He hasn't made a political statement since like a year or two before the debut of Star Trek Discovery. And before that, he was mild. He did not have much to say politically. I think one of the strengths of his Star Trek was instead of so much political, it was the human condition observations, and then they would put it within whatever kind of political construct they needed to for the given planet. They went to a lot more planets and analogized stuff far more strongly than the new Star Trek did. So he's had a chance to observe their mistakes. I think he's well positioned to write a good sequel. But Welshie, I want to thank you very much for the super chat. You know what? I do not think that we would have that problem with Enterprise, but certainly we're going to see probably 26 more really desecrating, damaging Star Trek episodes. But then the thing is, they'll basically burn them all. Like this is a Viking funeral for Kurtzman. He's going out with maximum spite. And I have to tell you something. I got a call from my contact at the Paramount Corporation. This also was apparently all over YouTube, and we missed it. We missed this. Carice Brooks played Series Access Mill, the hologram for the show Star Trek Starfleet Academy. She's banned from ever working for Paramount again. Did anyone hear this?
No.
Jerm, were you aware of this? She doxed the Ellisons and told people to do things. She gave instructions while it was going on in real time, people telling her to calm down. She went after the fans. She went after Paramount. This was coming from people at Paramount that they're trying to keep it quiet, but it was all over YouTube apparently, and we missed it. And that she went nuts, doxing people like the Ellisons. I'll try to get the finer points of it now. I hadn't planned on reporting that, but it's so juicy. Yeah, my friend works for, like, you know, Ed gave me my friend who is a Bothan. He's also I also know some Bothans. Called me up and said that you know, this is a real thing. It was already reported elsewhere, and that she doxed like the Ellisons. Like she went after every single YouTuber. She doxed people who like did other shows for Paramount. She's banned from ever working for the Paramount network in any Paramount production again. And it was revealed. What do you think she got for this, sir? What do you think her salary was?
For Academy?
What do you think she got?
Couple $100,000.
$300,000, sir.
I'm pretty close.
That's unfucking believable. Listen, Mariska Hargitay gets $900,000 for, I'm sorry, $750,000 for an episode of SVU. Why is this girl getting almost half of that?
Well, yeah, but she's
actually
it's how many
$375,000.
That's not much considering how many episodes she's in.
I said to the person she was only in 4, and they were like, she only has like quick cameos in the other ones, but she is in most. And then thinking about it, I was like, That is correct. That is kind of correct. We hear her voice in a couple only, but she is represented, quote unquote. I've never used the word when talking about Kurtzman Trek quite this way, but she was represented in all episodes.
Yeah. I want to highlight
crazy.
If I can, I want to highlight something Michelle said.
Please.
And I think this gets a
so say we all.
Please go ahead and read the comment.
Is it? I love all Star Trek from 65 to 05. Even if there's some episodes I don't like, I still love them.
They have
I
charm.
agree.
Fair comment.
They have.
Yeah.
That is one of the greatest comments of all time on this show because it really sums up how we feel. There are episodes of Star Trek from that period that don't work that I can still hang with. There's a case to be made. There's a few Voyager episodes that just don't work, that swing and miss terribly. And if they spend 5 minutes on that holodeck with the Irish people or Captain Proton, I'm laughing at the episode and they're leaning into it. I'm convinced that they start leaning into it. They're like, we don't have any money. We can't go after the Borg again. We got to do something. It's like, how about the captain's kind of like a secret perv and she's like a female Riker who has like an active social life on the holodeck. And they're like, well, we already do have the most haunted holodeck on it in all of Starfleet. We might as well use it again. They're like, yep, just send it back to the old holodeck. If I am the captain of the Voyager, I immediately order them to close down the holodeck and fuse the door shut. Like, I am not having like some hostile beings come to the ship through the holodeck. There's some fucking energy vampires on there. Every bad thing.
Yeah, they relied on it a little too much.
All right, so it's not on the internet. This is inside baseball. Grok can't find it. This was related to me by a Paramount employee that she had gone nuts on the internet and she will never work for Paramount again. I had heard it had been reported, but Grok cannot find any evidence.
I still think it's plausible.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Character.
Wait, hold on. No, it says full-scale public meltdown, public blaming of the fans for cancellation, criticizing Paramount's decision, and even taking shots at castmates. She and co-star Kareem Diane defended the show as phenomenal during panels and said they were hurt by the online negativity. Okay, so it's her and Gaydon.
They were hurt?
Pryden. Her and Pryden were hurt. And this, what a great conversation for our last show before Pride Month. We'll be the only Star Trek channel that, first of all, I want to say we are the biggest user of the Pride emoji of any Star Trek channel at all, period. We really are. And two, we're the only Star Trek channel that probably will not celebrate Pride Month. That's right, Sean. And we're probably the only ones that are not going to celebrate Pride Month at all. We did our Pride Month when we covered Horizon, the all Pride weather episode. And in this episode, it's kind of a Pride Month thing because our show's Sulu, Mr. Pride Weather, is sort of like front and center in this one, doing his best acting of the entire series, hands down. Germ, what did you think of our good friend, Mr. Pride Weather, in this episode?
Oh, fantastic acting. I believed for half a second that he actually enjoyed that kiss from Moshi.
I meant to ask you this question, Sean. This was the one I forgot. Now that it's cycled back into my mind, I don't want to forget it. And I'll ask the Germ as well, can answer if he wants. Those season 1 and 2 TNG episodes that you like, that you think are, poorly regarded for bad reasons and have a better case to be made for them, they are known for the most part to have been, stories that were made for Star Trek Phase 2 and Star Trek, movie pitches that didn't get made and ideas for the original series. So with that in mind, I would ask you, the fact that these stories had sat around for almost 20 years, 1966 to 1987, 21 years in some cases, I would ask you, do you think that maybe they were strongly held onto because they loved them, or they leftover ideas and they were scraping the bottom of the barrel, or is it a mix of both?
I
tend to think it's
I think they were. I think they were genuinely good stories, and they were trying to continue Star Trek. So it makes sense that they would try to get scripts and stories that would just push kind of stories we're used to into the future 80 years, you know?
Yeah. Just so we'd have a little bit more of a familiar feeling to it.
Mm-hmm.
And they could change up their aesthetic a little and sell new merch. And the idea of the combat is in another Roddenberry show. So he harvests that from his... He had this weird show where people were traveling around underneath the surface of the earth in like these weird tube cars. It was a really weird fucking show. It was so weird.
Yeah, I'll give you a good example of what I was just saying is the episode Hyde and Q, where Q comes and gives Riker Q powers. You know, it was very reminiscent of Where No Man Has Gone Before. But it was a different twist on it, because, you know, of course, Riker makes the right decision at the end. That was one I think was very TOS like.
Yeah, I would think also the weaker scripts they had from Phase 2 and leftover from the show would have either been reworked or just completely ditched by the time the 80s came around.
If they didn't like them. Yeah, I agree. We can see the ones where they fused two stories together and tried to make a fresh one. Just to address this one in chat, here's the deal. They're contractually obligated to show that already completed project, and this was a recent thing. And Grok's confirming the meltdown, taking shots at castmates. Let's see. What else it tells us? Other castmates, including Holly Hunter, have expressed frustration. Who cares? General heated online fights back and forth. All right. So basically what happened was this. She was fired for trashing the fans. She's not going to be in any future Paramount productions for her attitude. And she was really mean and really trashy in her responses. And she was getting into it she did the stupidest things you can do. She like jumped into the Reddit threads herself and stuff of that nature. It was every single little thing.
Yeah, and remember, as Phobos, all this stuff had already been filmed and in the can before she went on this tirade, so they have no choice but to leave her in there.
In fact, Kurtzman stands to gain $300 million more if they don't show it, is the operating assumption. Like we said, no one can get their hands on the contract, but everything Paramount's doing seems to indicate that they have an obligation to show the episodes, because they're not trying to get rid of them as much as they're trying to now move them to a Paramount affiliated lower tier network to get the obligation out of the way. And it seems like catalog control now really, it's been a stronger argument every week. I mean, will I end up being totally right? Probably not, but I hope so. Hey, it's the keeper of the Cthulhu himself. But go ahead, re-highlight that, Mr. Carter. Scan that comment. I had to look her up. I saw it was the stupid hollow thingy. Yeah, it was Sam. It was the big fat chick, which I guess makes me right wing for saying it, but. You know what? That's what she indeed was. She did not look like. Why would you make an ugly hologram? She could literally look like that. It's like, I want 25-year-old Kate Beckinsale. You know, everyone would have been happy. I want Jolene Blalock as she looked in Enterprise. You know, no one would have minded. You know, like when I conjure up a simulacrum, it's going to be a better looking one than that one. But I do not.
Wow, you're pulling out your D&D spells, aren't you?
That's a Philip K. Dick term for that's what he calls the replicants before he calls them that in the different story. In some stories, they're called simulacrums or sims.
Okay, because I know it's a D&D wizard spell.
What does it make a replicant of you?
Yeah, it gives you a replicant that's like 60% of your spell casting ability or somewhere like that. That's been around at least since 1997 or 8.
If someone made a replicant of me, dare you? You know what I'm saying? And like the world, wow. Although then again, would I then have half as many haters, or there'd just be twice as many people hating two versions of me? It's hard. What do you think, Jerm?
That's a good question.
It's
It'd be hard to
legitimately
get that many more haters.
Quick question. That is true. Quick question. What did you think of your fast talking East Coast style on the Yellowstone upload, the Dutton Ranch upload?
Somehow you made me appear to be talking way more than I actually did.
The thing is, there's a lot of real great stuff in what you do say. So I just took out the pauses while you thought, like while you were buffering, and just compressed it. You were great. And that upload was the most high performing Dutton Ranch upload by an independent person at anywhere, at any time, period. At least that I bothered to look at. And you know what? We've leveled up here. The new thumbnails have been a thing to behold for the last couple of weeks as I've mastered several forms of AI thumbnail making. We do use AI in its place. In the words of the great Spock, computers make excellent tools. I have no desire to serve under one, though. Even
unless it's a sex robot.
I believe in the Futurama thing on that one. Like when robots,
I would take the bottom on the.
I like what Futurama's rules on robot sex is. When a person has sex with an android, it's only for fun. This is not allowed. This is bad. Only pleasure can happen when a human has sex with a robot. The consequence-free nature of it was the drawback.
You know, I want to take a side way.
Here we go.
Were you? I was highlight the Isfolo's comment on the drumhead.
We'll marble it through. We're doing current events and our episode review. Go ahead.
Okay. As Phobos says, it's widely considered one of the most heavy-handed episodes of TNG, talking about the drumhead. It's completely abandoned the show's usual utopian optimistic vibe for an unstable, unsubtle, in-your-face courtroom drama. I love the drumhead. There is, however, one issue with the drumhead that gets at me a little. Is
they got Robert Picardo's speech wrong ahead of time.
Yeah. No, but the drumhead, the only thing about it that bothers me is that if Data had been granted to the Academy and all that, all of this stuff about his sentience and his rights would have been established the moment they let him enter the Academy. What happens to him? What's that?
Sorry, Jerm.
Drumhead is the one where they have the
Romulan.
No,
it's Measure of a Man is the one you're thinking of.
I'm so stupid. I'm thinking Measure of a Man. The Measure of the Man is the one I'm thinking of. Is it would not have happened, even though a lot of people say that's one of the best ones. Drumhead's very heavy-handed. It's
got like 2 Picard speeches in it.
I mean, they're great, and it's always good to go back and
Stewart could sell it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's very much like Salem witch hunty stuff, but it's a story we have to remind ourselves. Just like in that episode, they say we have to continually remind ourselves and be ever vigilant. So sometimes we have to retell these stories and say, yeah, even in the future, this kind of shit could happen because it will. So I think it has. Yeah.
Irrevocably changing our thoughts. And the first silenced idea. 80s Pistu, different story. He could sell it. Even now, we can't assess those episodes fairly. There's going to be some good TOS episodes where we're going to be like, you know what? Just shut the fuck up. Tell them there's 5 lights. Get it out of there. We don't respect your gambit here, Picard. You know what? It's just Pistu whining. Like, anytime he's in pain or something like that, we're going to be like, good. Fucking Darmok. Go Darmok. It's going to be rough watching that one because he's lost us. But at that time, in that episode, that's a major actress. I think she has an Academy Award. She's in an Academy Award winning Kubrick film. That's just one of the better movies made by the studio system in Kubrick's time there. And she was great in that. And she was great in The Drumhead. So I give it up to Gene Simmons, not of Kiss, but of Hollywood. and her performance in that, I thought it was great. And I love her meltdown. Her meltdown is as good as Picard's speech. How my father was a great man. You dirty his name when you say it. It's like, her Will Smith meltdown. I thought she was going to slap him.
Yeah, and the best edit, the cap of it was even better with Admiral Thomas Henry just gets up and leaves.
He's had enough.
I loved that. That was so much better than him getting up and going, enough of this. I'm putting an end to this now. No, it was so perfect. The subtleness of him walking out. So even though it was heavy-handed,
brings his uniform and walks out the door.
Yeah, the heavy-handedness of the episode was calmed down by that subtle. Just walked out.
I would also say this one, because of episodes like Court Martial, the courtroom procedural is baked in as an OG Star Trek template. It's just Star Trek sometimes goes courtroom. Will Smith, you like that one, guys? Yeah, you know what? That's why humor is usually one of the hashtags for this show. Like, we are trying to be funny. We are trying to have fun with this. This is a lighthearted take on Star Trek. Although, we do get very, very serious. And with an average show length now of only 128 minutes, I have a funny feeling that when we get around to New Trek, we're going to be able to give it our full attention again. I don't know if we'll have another 5-hour marathon, but certainly going over 3 will be something that we'll enjoy the hell out of when we get Star Trek Academy back. But Germ, I'll ask you a question here. What do you think? Best cat fight we get in all of Enterprise in this one?
Oh, definitely. We've been waiting 4 years for that cat fight.
Did they forget that T'Pol has super strength when she beats up that dude, or is the fact she takes him proof enough?
She has a little bit more strength, but you can't really convert her to Spock because Spock, he has a Vulcan male strength.
He's not a Vulcan male, though. He's only like 3/4 as strong. He and T'Pol are about as strong.
She would be a little.
Remember, it's why she has an edge, because T'Pol's form of meditation before she discovers the USB stick of Serac is like warrior monk shit. Remember on that one planet with Marauders, where she teaches them a logical self-defense method that held up to scrutiny and wasn't LOL. Like, her whole thing was like, that was like her kind of like logic. Like, she was spending her time like just like working out her frustrations and like her Romulan side in the gym. That seemed to be part of T'Pol's like meditation and style, even though we see her meditating the traditional way as well. I mean, that's my take on it. I think that she was a little more skilled. And when we see her in command of the Enterprise, like in Detain, that attack she orders is absolutely fucking ruthless. The attack that her and Trips send on that planet with Dean Stockwell, that is one of the meanest attacks we ever see.
Well, yeah, but that's actual T'Pol, not mirror T'Pol. Should be a little bit less well put together. I mean, this one chose to sleep with that radiation-drenched Trip Tucker.
I think that might have happened since then. I think that was like one pond far ago. I think he couldn't have been next to that engine operating any longer than the Tucker that we know. This is like year 2.5. This has happened in the last 4 or 5 months, is my impression. Mr. Tucker's only started melting recently because he's newly resentful of it. And she's freaked out by him now. She doesn't think he's that handsome no more.
Maybe. But still, I wouldn't put her on the same level as Prime Universe T'Pol.
I am inclined to agree with that.
A little less strong.
I think she was told to be smart and do sciencey things by the Terran Empire rather than told to be a warrior monk like she wanted to be. Because would you say that's baseline T'Pol? A lot of physicality to whatever her Vulcan logic, meditation, calm down ritual was before she found the USB stick of Serac?
A little bit.
Marauders holds it up, and anytime they fight, she's pretty badass.
Well, yeah, she'd have the basic training for service in the Vulcan fleet.
She's a Vulcan ambassador, though. She's in the Vulcan ambassadorial corps, not the Vulcan fleet.
Now, but she was in the science corps.
That's right. Okay. Good catch. Let's see what the comments are out there. Let's catch up with our fans. Let's see. Okay, the thing with Carice Brooks. Here's the thing. I heard it from someone with that company. They could possibly make it go away. They could at least get it off X. There might have been some reporting, but if you think about things like Hollywood Reporter and stuff like that, they would absolutely not carry it for them. They would absolutely do a favor for the industry. They would absolutely do whatever they were told to do to keep their access. So the denial against the independent journalists, well, you know what? If she went nuts somewhere, first of all, if she said things that are against terms of service, that's gone anyway. They don't have to do anything but click report. If she doxed people, even if it was, as ludicrous as doxing the Ellisons, as people have pointed out, like how do you dox billionaires who live in a big, huge mansion in an exclusive community? People kind of already know. It's like kind of already very knowable. I think doing malicious things to menace them, and I think it was online harassment style stuff was really they found it despicable, and they said they're not going to hire her again. And it's now known inside Paramount. Don't hire her for any Paramount productions. Will she still work? Yeah, I mean, it's only one company. Sony might hire her tomorrow. Sure.
At this point, no one really cares. The show is essentially dead. No one's watching or trying to pay attention to any news for it. So why would anyone report on it?
The show organizer was on her side, but remember her take. She didn't dox or go after Kurtzman. She's on Kurtzman's side.
Well, no one even cares about Kurtzman anymore.
Do I have a link of my? This was a personal conversation. This was personal. I found this out from a person. A person told me this. A person who worked for Paramount told me this. I know someone who does.
PBE is saying she was banned from the German Comic Con? That's funny.
Yeah, the more people look, here's the thing. We might not find the specific doxing, and you wouldn't, right? And we might not find the specific threats, and you wouldn't. But it doesn't mean they didn't happen. And also, there is a big collateral effect of her not being welcome places and her having a bad rep, and a big core hole in the middle as to why, which would speak to she did something people don't even want to talk about. They don't want other people going down the path. And remember, Kurtzman and the others, he would still support them because he could. I'm not saying he did, although I would say slander is difficult to prove, but I could foresee in my mind Alex Kurtzman being the kind of person who would take advantage of someone who is, 19, and filling their head up with crazy ideas and having them go out there and spout shit off. Case in point, look what Disney convinced Rachel Ziegler to do by telling her she was the sun rose and set over her ass, and she was getting $375,000 was the reported salary. So close to half of what the star of SVU makes, the number one show on Paramount in any way, the biggest moneymaker on Paramount in any way. And I'm aware that Mariska Hargitay gets residuals and other things like that, and there's 500 episodes in syndication, but that's not really the point. Her episode salary being half that of your highest paid network star, and she's on this streaming show that the franchise hasn't had a hit in a decade of misfires. She just went fucking nuts. But everything we've seen of her, watch the premiere of Starfleet Academy. She's not. I said, and you can see it on our episode about it. I said I think she came off mentally ill. You said it too, didn't you? Didn't you agree with that one, Sean? Have you returned?
Well, anyone who does this on the red carpet, I pretty much believe fucking anything that.
When she had to spit the grill out into her hand to talk, I was like, that is so trashy. And then like, I'll say this again. Everyone, if you're a channel member, you can see the video I made about where I'm from. I'm from Jamaica, Queens. I grew up in and around Jamaica, Queens. I, for a time, had a place in Jamaica, Queens. Jamaica is the home of Donald Trump and LL Cool J. There are all sorts of people there, but it's more well known for Mary J. Blige, Nicki Minaj, all of Run DMC, LL Cool J, and 50 Cent. So, it's, one of the original neighborhoods where hip hop came from. And so that's my environment. And I showed you guys a video of the mall that I used to go to with all like the super black stuff that people had. And like, maybe one day I'll find a picture of like young tracksuit Teague. But the thing is, I have never seen anyone who is dressed as American black urban hip hop early 90s, late 80s as she was at that. She had the crazy black lady hat. She had that whacked out MC jacket. She had the 4-finger ring. She had the diamond grill that she had to spit out to talk. It was trashy to behold. You know what? Like, they weren't pleased with her already making such a bad impression. She looked mentally ill during that appearance. Mark D with a C reported her having an emotional breakdown and being overwhelmed with tears at a normal Comic-Con appearance, not the kind of thing that you would expect. So she might have deeper problems. We don't know. We're not doctors, but Carice Brooks' history of just acting unhinged in a short time we've known her. The notable things we've seen, a standout whack job at the premiere. Weirder than the guy who killed Grover with the purple jacket. Sean, do you remember her at the premiere? Germ, either of you?
Ooh, Brooks?
Yeah.
What I remember is a female version of Flavor Flav.
With a British accent, but yeah.
Oh, you're not talking about the screenshot I was showing.
No, that is the person, but I think she's British.
She's weird.
I've never seen anyone dressed to that extreme.
Yeah, it looked like Janet Jackson got really fat, and like remember the way she dressed in the 90s, like all that metal buckles on her hat and stuff.
She was kind of doing a weird female echo of Michael's style.
Yeah.
And then when she had that weird wardrobe malfunction, she tried to blame it on Timberlake, which he was just like, get the fuck out, man. She told me to do it. And everyone just ended up believing him because who would think otherwise? She didn't deny it. So she came clean. And if she spent Istafobos more than $80 on that get up, no way. 777, what do you have to hear?
Yeah, and everyone, it's okay to, you
can defend Brooks if you think that she's being falsely accused.
We can say what we think something is, let
me put it this way. This is a side quest that we're really not going to follow up too closely. I'll try to verify more. The thing is, if you want to defend her and you feel she's being unfairly portrayed, fine. My source, could they be wrong? Could they be punking me? I don't fucking know. Is this private information or highly secret? Everyone did know the controversy except us. So it's kind of like for this community, it's news. So
it's all water cooler talk.
Please.
Yeah.
Don't flame anybody, even if you believe differently.
Yeah, it's all water cooler talk. I mean, we all have a right to, say what we think the real stories are or make plausible explanations or how we feel. It's all good. It's all good. I think she's weird. I don't necessarily dislike her. I just think she's weirdo.
PBE really did. Let's let him get the last word on this one, just because he's one, not attacking anybody, and two, saying something very true. You know what? It doesn't matter because it's done. She's fired, and whether or not she's allowed to work for Paramount again is something we won't know until she's going to be around for another 50 or 60 years. She's only like 20 years old. Things could change. They could get sold again. If she ever works for the Ellisons again, we might have an indication in 2 or 3 years. It's a diagnosis of exclusion. I couldn't.
She's not a great actress anyway. So, but I do think we can give a "So Say We All" to PBE for at least Academy was canceled, and that's enough for me. So say we all.
Yes? So say we all. Yes, I agree. And also, we deal in the substantiated. We deal in the unsubstantiated here. Everyone does. Midnight's Edge had nothing to base 25% different Star Trek on, but look how that held up. Tom and Andre told me themselves that was a personal call. The only way they knew how to describe it. It's been taken out of context by other people, but honestly, the Carice Brooks thing, sort of a side quest to this one that, honestly, that'll be an interesting thing to follow up on. And I would bet that the news on that comes out more if they show season 2, because it's starting to look like maybe if she violated some kind of clause, maybe they could fight it or delay it on that. I would think that the Ellisons would love to fight and delay that one and turn it into a one-day drop with a legal compromise. They wouldn't mind mixing it up just a little for a while with Kurtzman. They have more than had it with him, and if they've talked to their friends over at Netflix, they know he is very dangerous in court and very litigious.
He's got a lot of money.
He has a lot of money that he seems to. I outright in my heart believe that he has taken most of the production money and simply kept it. We don't see it on screen. It's terrible.
I don't think they're going to do much to tick him off. They want to move forward. They don't want to drag stuff on and it potentially lose a whole bunch of money and stuff. It's better just let the show come out. No one's going to fucking watch it anyway. I think San Diego Comic-Con will find out, because there's been a lot of buzz about something. Yeah, a lot of buzz about something is going to be revealed at Comic-Con. Who knows what it is? I would like to get an announcement from them.
If she's there, the theory's over, right? In 5 or 6 weeks we'll have our first clue.
Well,
it won't disprove anything if she's not there, but it'll be.
Well, we all know who's going to be at the Las Vegas Star Trek thing. Our good pal Sussman, who's with the episode we're talking about tonight.
There are rumors that there might be time travelers and space travelers from New York at the Las Vegas Comic-Con.
There might be someone from Texas going too.
Strong rumors that there will be a broadcast of Saving Star Trek from Las Vegas, and we'll let our audience vote on that one for one of the shows. That'd be interesting to see if they want it.
Have to do it.
You might have to buy some technology to do it on top of the trip, though. We would need the 2-jack microphones so that we don't overwhelm each other. Remember when Andy and Gary were in the same place, and they had to mute while the other one talked, or it was a horror story. So we might need to think this one through. We might need a little bit of tech, but we'll do it. Yeah, I think that, guys, there's a shot. We're gonna figure this one out in the next week. But back to the mirror universe and that stuff. Let's get and can we the side tangent on Carice Brooks? Can we table that until Las Vegas? And let's not go after each other. We're all Star Trek fans here, and I favor de-escalation at this point, please. For me, do it for me. Your buddy, Admiral Teague. But hey, strong opinions welcome. This is an opinion show. Opinions going forward in this episode. The plot is basically this. Let's do a quick recap. I'll just hit the bullet points, and then if anybody wants to react to them, I will vary between my two pundits. The USS Defiant, a Constitution-class starship, sister ship to the Enterprise, vanishes into uncharted space. That is absolutely undeniable. This is the Tholian Web information. Kirk's crew finds it adrift in the spatial interface, a dangerous overlap where the two universes bleed into each other. All right. Now, the assumption here is that it's going to the mirror universe that they make for Enterprise. It's a really safe assumption with no effect on Tholian Web. It can be viewed as maybe putting a little MSG or a little bit of, oregano on the pizza there, but it doesn't essentially change what you're getting at all. And you don't have to put it on there. You can ignore it completely, and it doesn't change anything. So it's the best kind of compliment to that one. Anyone want to talk about the bleed over or whether they think it hurts at all? I think we addressed it a little bit, but it basically it could be thought of as enhancing it. So say we all.
Yeah.
So say we all. Yeah.
All right, great. The Defiance crew has gone mad and killed each other, a gruesome sight with the bodies in various states of violence. They blamed it on the interphasic shift, but I would point out Kirk doesn't go crazy, so it takes a long time, and it might be the switching back and forth rather than being in one or the other. Because that would explain how it could be the mirror universe incompatibility to mirror. That is an instantaneous transfer, not switching back and forth and back and forth and back and forth over and over. In Tholian Web, the switch from our universe to the presumed mirror universe, if we buy Enterprise, is a legit canonical story. And I do, totally. I would say this. It's the switching over and over, not the one switch that does it. It's just, it's too chaotic on your mind. What do you guys think?
It might have been a Tholian trick because they're the ones who lured the Defiant into it, and it's just logical to think they had a way to take care of the crew.
They could have had a psycho mind weapon. They could have had a psychometric weapon. I would ask Sean, what's your theories on that one? If you assume that Enterprise is true.
Yeah, I agree with Germ. Yeah.
You don't think it was the actual shifting phases that did it to them, like doing it rapidly so many times might have made them mad?
No, not really. No.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I'm researching something on the side here. So
I'm just thinking that the only possible hole in this one is that the mirror Tholians in the past have a quicker, better deploying web than the ones in the future. That's the only thing. Like, and now they're getting a tech infusion. The only real question this puts into both stories is how come there's a tech plateau? The natural answer that presents itself to me would be the Enterprise was eventually destroyed in battle by the rest of the Empire after 10, 20 years of Empress Sato. What do you guys think? I'm sorry, the Defiant was destroyed after 10, 20 years in a battle with the rest of the Empire.
I think they're just not great at reverse engineering. They got all the tech off of the Defiant, leveled up to there, and either got lazy or were just too stupid to go forward.
I agree. And by the way, everybody, this is one of the things we're going to be able to sell. Carrie Brooks will probably be working for a little while longer. She'll be able to do something in Europe. Like, watch her be the new Doctor Who. I felt like Doomcock read my mind. Like, I was thinking Matt Berry. I think I had just dropped that into chat when he said it. So it was like at the same moment, like with the lag and all, there's no way you saw the comment. It was like another GMTA moment with Doomcock on that one. I think Matt Berry from Toast of London could save Doctor Who. So Defiance crew's gone mad. Kirk beams over with the away team. The Defiant phases in and out of existence, and Kirk gets stranded aboard the ship as it fully disappears into the rift. The Tholians appear, claim the area as their territory, and weave an energy web around the Enterprise to trap it. And for decades, fans wondered, what happened to the Defiant? Where'd it go? This one, I think, picks it up really well. Enterprise reveals that when the Defiant phased out of the 21st century, the TOS era, it reappears and time travels backwards just about 100 years and crosses over into specifically the dimension it goes to is the mirror universe, 22nd century, around 2155. Again, we've seen long-term existence by people from one universe in the other in old Star Trek, so there's no penalty to be paid physically for changing worlds if you do it once, but rapid shifting could do it. Or the Tholians have like a weapon that if you're not ready for it, they can make your whole crew go crazy, like a madness beam. The Tholians are pretty underhanded bug people, aren't they, Jerem?
Oh yeah, quite ugly too.
They are pretty ugly. They're still a decent effect. I think they hold up okay. I think they look okay. I honestly do. And we appreciate everyone who's hanging with us as we're talking about A Mirror Darkly, one of the more interesting Enterprise episodes. So, Jerb, what did you think of their origin tale for the Agonizer booth?
It makes perfect sense.
I also like the fact that we had Captain Vaughn Armstrong. What's it? Captain Forrest. Captain Forrest.
Yeah, it's good to have him come back for an episode.
We like Captain Forrest. And yeah, it's probably going to be the last time we see him. We've only got one story left. I watched the beginning of Terra Prime right afterwards. Also, if we do get Star Trek United, this is going to be a huge part of it because they did write a life story of Archer for this.
Yeah, it'd be a good way to fill in the backstory we get in here. If we do get United.
It would indeed. So here's some images associated with this. Here's the Defiant. It looks very much like it did in TOS. This is the Mirror Universe dock where it has been being stripped of its technology by the past Tholians. And here we see the debut of the Agonizer booth. Great stuff.
Admiral Teague, incoming super chat.
The Dead Man, my friend, thank you so much for a very generous $9.99 super chat. I appreciate it. I love that we constantly reference new BSG in the Star Trek show. Also, Sean, I love how the actor for Bashir shows up in new BSG. Just messing with you, Sean.
Oh, Dead Man, I have one thing to say to that.
Motherfucker, you.
He is in one or two episodes. He is in one or two episodes when we see the flashback to Baltar's childhood. He's like, he's Baltar's father, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I know. I'm never going to live that down. I got to turn in my nerd card over that.
No, we'll let you off the hook because we're not a BSG show. Go ahead, Stu.
Yeah, it's okay to get new BSG stuff wrong because that show wasn't actually good. People will realize that one day, and then we'll all be okay with it.
I can't wait to review some episodes with Germ being a hater. That's going to be fun. Oh, God, that's going to be fun.
Well, it won't be fun for Germ. He's going to have to watch them all.
He'll have, again, some of the
things, and once you get past the two good-looking women, there's nothing really there.
When I listened to our new Trek reviews, everybody was funny, but Germ had the sharpest, funniest takes because, like, he winds up for a couple of seconds and then he just drops a hammer. He was really had some of the funniest. I mean, everyone was pretty funny, but Germ had, like, let's say the 20 funniest jokes. Like, Germ had like 7 or 8 of them. You know, whereas you would figure, like, you know, I would have like 15. You know, because my show, I do like more talking than most people. But no, Germ is a high value jokester. Thank you so much to Dead Man. We'll leave that up there so Sean can feel his shame while I heart it. Sean, you go in there and you like that. You go in there and you like that question.
I did.
Oh, okay. Good.
Oh, wait. I mean, I hit like on the super chat. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. As part of your punishment, you have to like the super chat. By the way, our poll right now, 20 votes, going strong. Take the poll if you haven't. Try the veal. Which Star Trek show did the best mirror universe? The original series, 60%. Deep Space Nine, 5%. Yeah, pretty much nobody thought that was great. Enterprise, 20%. And like Stream C results, 15%. We don't know. We have an Enterprise heavy like viewership here, and everyone's going with TOS. You know what? I can see why. It is a great episode. And oh wow. Fire again, Mr. Carter.
Oh. Gotta go up there.
Target that
Admiral
comment.
Teague, incoming super chat.
The dead man for $1.99, putting his money where his mouth is, with $1.99 Greenlandian greenback says, it's okay to be wrong, resolute germ. You know what? At this
yes,
point,
and I forgive you for being wrong.
Oh, this is what I deal with all week. It's the best. Resolute germ, Sean, sirs and madams of the chat, I would like to present to you the dead man as a Star Trek reviewer. I try to catch his show when I can. I always kind of enjoy it. I believe that he is a very authentic Star Trek reviewer. He does his own style of review. He accomplishes his mission in every review, and he gets to the point and says how he feels in every review. Sometimes he plays a little guitar. Sometimes he scoffs at the episode outright. He wouldn't review the Picard episode. I think he should be forced to, whatever that randomizer picks, you committed to it. You should have to review an episode of Picard before you get to review the episode of Enterprise, or I think it was that you got. But that's just me. You keep doing your channel. Guys, sub the dead man. We'll fish up his channel for you, but sub the dead man. He does a decent Star Trek show, and Krimon has arrived. Krimon has entered the chat. This means that we have to now play something for Pride Month early. Thanks, Krimon, with your pride all over the place there. We're also going to introduce a Krimon emoji, but for now, let's see. What would Krimon tell me if he was here right now? Yeah, that's probably what he would say. But you guys, you know what? We've gotten a few super chats and a couple other things from everybody. Oh, way to go, Sean.
What?
You have your echo. You sound like a
the voice of God going.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do something here. So for a dead man and germ.
Go for it.
Let's get ready to rumble. There we go.
Now
There we go.
for the New York Yankees. He was caught using performance-enhancing drugs.
Pure anti-proton. Absolutely pure.
And when we see Archer in his green shirt, it's a combination of both of them, isn't it? It doesn't have the scrambled eggs, but the cuffs are a little different than the ones we're used to. They're a little more silvery. It's not radically different, and it has the Defiance logo, not the Enterprise's logo, on his hip. It has the alternate Starfleet logo. It's the one that's on the drive section of all ships, of all Constitution class ships. It's sort of like a forward-facing chevron, but not, and like sort of asymmetrical. It's not my favorite Starfleet logo, but it looks pretty cool. It works and it makes sense. But you guys now, you've definitely earned some video. I think you've earned a couple of pieces of video. Here you go.
She was attacked by what appears to be essentially a robot.
That was so controversial. Sir.
All right, and I have the StreamYard's malfunction again, where I can't control the sound. So I'm going to bail and return, and I'm going to leave it to Jerm and Sean to cover the next bullet point in my notes about the episode, which would be, it serves as a prequel to Mirror Mirror, showing the Empire's earlier days, and a sequel to Tholian Web, resolving the Defiance fate. You tell me whether you feel it fulfills those fully, or if there's bleed over into Mirror Mirror. And I'll be back in a moment, folks.
Well, I think I said it earlier. I think this is both a prequel to Mirror Mirror and a sequel to the Tholian Web. Jerm, what do you think?
Yeah, that pretty well fits, because they'll set up the Mirror Universe for Mirror Mirror, and it's a little add-on for Tholian Web.
Yeah, that's one of the things I think was so genius about this episode. I really, I really do.
I really like that they did the details right.
Yeah. Oh, here.
Okay.
I'll get out of your seat.
Control again. Thank you. Good job filling in this. Good job, number one. Excellent job. And everybody, again, we're so glad you're here. We're talking about Mirror, and the Mirror universe as a whole. The Mirror episode is a two-parter. We get to see the Mirror universe. It is 100% their point of view. Mirror Archer pulls a coup. In part one, Commander Archer mutinies aboard the ISS Enterprise against Captain Maximilian Forrest. The crew heads to Tholian space after learning about a powerful ship from the future that the Tholians have captured. So Mirror Archer is already a pretty decent spy master. He's a different kind of maniac than Mirror Kirk. Mirror Archer is more underhanded. He's scheming. He is just about when we meet Mirror Archer, who for some reason has darker hair than Prime Archer. I don't know why they chose to dye his hair. We can riff on that for a moment, but Mirror Archer is just closing the trap on a long game grift on Captain Forrest, who he effing hates. And Forrest didn't know this. When Forrest is in the brig, he's like, I just thought you were a mild-mannered loser, Archer. I didn't think you had it in you. And I'm thinking, Jonathan Archer's from New York, sir. You didn't think he was capable of executing a long-form business strategy takedown corporate style? That was like all the brilliant military mutiny, but like all very coldly executed, very boardroom, very clinical. He was a different kind of madman. And why do you have dark hair? I throw it to my panelists.
I think the guy is so vain. You know, look. There's a scene where when he gets on the Defiant and he puts on the captain shirt and he's all about how he looks. I think it's kind of, maybe it's a subtle thing that maybe he would have dyed his hair. He's so such a narcissist.
He's a little desperate for power, but I would point out he gave Forrest an out at the beginning. He pitched the plan before he ever went through with any type of coup. If Forrest would have been smart and listened to him, none of that would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Archer would have been perfectly happy to go back and get his medals and get his own command. But no, Forrest had to be an asshole.
I hadn't thought of it that way, but you're right. Mirror Forrest really fucks him over. He's like, I have this awesome piece of information. And he's like, I'm going to keep you down and grind you into the dust for serving me well. He's a real scumbag. I hadn't thought of that. You're right, though. He's loyal until he fucks him over. And then...
Or maybe he would have taken over right at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, he might have been scheming away, waiting for a better time, but like Germ presents an interesting possibility. If he had gotten his due, he wouldn't be there looking to fuck over Captain Forrest. He would be on his own ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Forrest kept him around because he was so good, and he was probably doing all the grunt work and all the dirty work. He's like, there's a problem on Azadi Prime. I need you to take a shuttle down there and destroy this weapon. It's like, you got it, Captain Forrest. And then after all that, he's like, I think I should get command of the Columbia. He's like, I bet you do. That's nothing a little beatdown from our analog agonizer personnel can't do. Fox might be working on a booth, but it's not online yet. We have the old-fashioned thing. It's called a Cat O' Nine Tails, you know? He was good. Like, I thought Vaughn Armstrong showed up like this. Was this his best role? Was this his best moment in the series? It might have been.
He's actually a decent guy in these episodes. You know, like he stays on the ship, right? At the when we get later, he acts like a real captain. he's strong. I mean, he has to be ruthless with his leadership, but he's actually not a bad guy.
He seems to be most ruthless with Archer, though. He has a serious grudge against him. He's outright nice to everybody else.
Yeah, well, I mean, part of that could be like that's just how those folks had to be to survive in that. But I'm just thinking of the thing where he stays on the ship to let everyone escape. So he's not all that. He's got some redeeming features.
Oh, yeah, he's really loyal to their service.
Yeah, he's a great captain. It's just he happened to hate his first officer more than anything else in the world for some damned reason.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a little paranoid. I mean, they're all
really
flawed.
A rule violation of the mirror universe rules, but in this aspect, he's bizarro because, like, although real Admiral Forrest is brave and puts his crew first and is all about the service, he's mentoring and kind towards Archer. This Admiral Forrest doesn't like this Archer or trust him.
No, you'd think he'd want him off the ship. The best way to do that is get him his own command. He'll be light years away.
But instead, he's decided to ruthlessly exploit him.
But it's keep your enemies closer, right?
You know what? Not this enemy. He's looking to shit you at this. At some point, it went from serving Captain Gardner will help me. Captain Forrest will help me out too. Captain Forrest is always just going to keep fucking me over. And by the way, how great are these new square boxes on the StreamYards?
The new what now?
Didn't notice the difference.
Pictures.
Wait, you broke up.
Turn on your camera.
Oh. Ah.
Instead of a round picture in the middle, we have Brady Bunch boxes.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Oh, it's the story of a lovely lady. All right.
Here, I'm going to poke you. There we go.
I'm going to look down like they look down at Ann B. Davis. What was going on with, like, you just have someone move into your house to, like, do all the work of, like, raising your kids? That was a thing? Every show from that era had that, though. Like, what was up with My Three Sons? Like, Fred from I Love Lucy just kind of lived in the basement drinking booze. Like, Uncle Billy is like, I don't want Chip or the other kids near me. Billy, you take them out. It's like, just like Fred McMurray famously wouldn't be on the set at the same time as the child actors. He despised them. I love that. I don't get that. But anyway, back to Star Trek.
He rumor has it he was very much like his characters were.
Don't you. Yeah, you know what? Listen to that song. Well-known fact. Did you know who wrote that? The co-writer and producer of that song is and sings backups on it. Can you hear it? Do you know who it is, Sean? Mick.
Oh, really?
You can hear him during the chorus quite clearly. Also, do you know who the song's about?
No.
Germ?
I wouldn't care to guess.
Warren Beatty. It's about Warren Beatty.
Dick Tracy Warren Beatty?
Yeah, he was the only person who could actually legitimately think about that song and be correct.
Oh, wow. I don't even know the song that well.
It's about what a lowlife he is and how he screws his friends' wives and what a piece of garbage he is to date. It's really horrible. Yeah. And Mick must have been laughing his ass off. It's like, all right, baby, tell me all about your ex and I'll write you a song. Yeah. Keith, send me over a riff. You know, way to go. Which episode are we talking about? The Dead Man.
Taste of Armageddon.
I love that one. We're gonna have a fun and strong episode when we get to that one. It's like, so then they get into the deletion booths.
Hey, I wanted to ask you something. It was something I looked up earlier. So we were talking about the drum head, and then I brought up Measure of a Man, and it got me thinking. Take a guess at how many episodes of Star Trek 6605 have courtroom or trials involved.
18.
You're close. It's 16. 16 episodes with courtroom stuff, and a few of them just quickly is the Deadly Years as a trial thing. We have the Menagerie. There's Wolf in the Fold has kind of a thing where they're in the court. There's an animated series. There's a few in Voyager. There's
Doomsday Machine walks up to the edge of it, but they don't go there.
Yeah, they're going to go there. Yeah, but there's quite a few where there's actual trials, you know, like TNG had the one with Riker was supposedly accused of killing that guy, and they used the holodeck to recreate their testimony. That was just really made me think like a lot of crime show stuff, and lawyer shows are prominent everywhere.
They do two different kinds of space cop episodes, space detectives and space cops. In the episode Unification, when we meet the Ferengi arms dealer, Riker pulls an awesome space cop where he like throws him up against the wall and throws the food on him, and he's just like, I'll write you up on 15 moving violations and a felony for a violation of the Mann Act. I'll have you in Federation. You'll be on Repente before you can say, I'm not even going to read you your space Miranda rights, you piece of Ferengi guard. And he's like, all right. So
I like when he goes, hypothetically speaking, he goes, I don't speak hypothetical.
That guy was great.
It's
not Armin Shimmerman, is it?
No, it's
no. We never see that Ferengi again. He had a talent for it, though.
Yeah, he was a coward.
I would have to say, honestly, in this whole mirror thing, the Deep Space Nine episode that was the best is the one with Jennifer, but the one that was the most watchable is the one with Wallace Shawn. Grand Nagish Zach just makes everything that much more watchable. He's of a Garrick level. Like, he raises the quality of everything around him. And the fact that Garrick was in the episode extensively, too, didn't hurt.
Yeah, well, he was, Zach is in a few episodes.
It's good to see Jonathan Hancock. It's been a few weeks.
Hey,
sir.
Jonathan Hancock.
By the way, we had
big
a
old
meeting.
Signature.
You're allowed to make any kind of comments you want. We had a little talk about your freedom of expression, and there was due action taken in your favor. We're sorry that you were scolded. We didn't endorse that one, and we're sorry. It won't happen again. If it does, we will re-scold the person. They were cool about it too. They didn't realize that they were doing it, but like there was no malice intended when you got accidentally shut down a couple of weeks ago or told to shut down. You did nothing wrong, and everything's cool. Sean found that one. Good patrolling of the chat. The head sensor monitor, Sean. And everybody's on the same page with that one. So, sir, good to see you. And guys, if you're a member, spam some emojis. Sirs, madams, please spam some emojis. We need to see some. It's very helpful. And you know what? As we proceed through this amazing episode, you know what? I feel like, can I get to these? Ooh. Let's see. All right, guys. You know what? They give me a certain amount of these. Let's have a few more people get some memberships. Jonathan gets one. Michelle gets hers extended. She was already, I think, in the green. Carl. Oh no, they're greenifying, as you said. Carla's here. Carla. It was great to see the great Carla Burton, who will always maintain a wrench at the channel and is beloved by all of us. Actually, YouTube took away everyone's wrench. Now you just have shields. What are people going to say about it? It's like, Like, what do they do? Oh, they're a shield for Doomcock. Like what do you mean? I don't understand. Right? Like, what? They're a badge for Disparu. Like, I don't understand. It's like, what was the point of taking away the wrench and changing it to another emoji? Anyone got a theory on that one?
I don't know, but I don't think do I see it on? Is it on all sites?
Here
I thought I still see the
X,
wrench here and there.
I don't see it on X.
I don't mean sites. I mean channels.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is on all channels now. I haven't seen the wrench in a long time.
I saw a wrench the other day.
Now, how are we going to have disagreements with the British YouTubers? And I said, when I say I don't agree with, I agree with your mods. And he's like, yes, but do you agree with the people who have spanners? Your wrenches are correct. What about the people who have spanners? Your mods are correct. Okay, now I understand you. And by the way, if you can't get enough Admiral Teague, Miami Vice tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time, with my friend Northern English Bastard and Kung Fu Hot Dog. I revealed this last week. Kung Fu was supposed to be on the show. He canceled this show to do open bar.
Really?
Kung Fu Hot Dog was supposed to be on my show, and he had to cancel because he was on a little show called Open Bar. It's the second time that's happened to me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the second time. If I had to think about this, if he had been on the show, and when he is on the show, I will be, how many people stream with someone who streams with Doomcock and someone who streamed with Critical Drinker in the same week?
I got to say, you can't blame someone for going to open bar.
I was really proud of him. And he had a great performance. He had a great, he made Drinker laugh a couple of times. And he was legit very funny. Kung Fu Hot Dog is a great YouTuber and a friend of mine for like about a year now. We've been reviewing Miami Vice with Northern English Bastard. You're welcome for the membership, Michelle. We wub you all. We wub you all. And you know what? A lot of weeks, this is the most fun I have. And you guys are just the very best. All right. You know what? Let's get through the second episode as far as the bullet points. And then we can just assess that. And we can shift our focus to the entire Mirror Universe arc as a whole. I'll just rattle them off. In part 2, the survivors, I'm sorry, at the end of part 1, they're in Tholian space, and the Enterprise, the ISS Enterprise gets destroyed. We lose that to the Tholians. Then in part 2, the survivors take control of the advanced vessel and pursue ambitious and ruthless goals to shift the balance of power in the Empire. Plenty of betrayal, dark character takes, and classic Mirror Universe tropes like agonizers, Imperial uniforms, and agony booths. The entire story takes place entirely in the Mirror Universe. No crossover. The crossover is the weakest part of all Mirror Universe stories, including the TOS one that everyone likes best. It honestly is. It's a really rough. The crossover. Maybe the most logical one is something goes wrong with the warp drive going through a wormhole. Makes more sense than any other one.
Yeah, I mean, it really feels like Sussman said, okay, DS9.
You showed me what not to
writers,
do. Yeah.
Hold my beer. Let me show you how it's done. Would you agree?
No, I agree. It's a far better Mirror story than they ever came up with.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he went to school on their mistakes. He took a look at their Mirror episodes, and I would speculate that he had very much the same takeaway that we did, where he was saying people just casually walking in from the Mirror Universe being trusted fully like they're anybody else is absolutely crazy. I don't know what's wrong with Prime Cisco. He's kind of an idiot. I'm not going to have like Mirror Jennifer walking out and just being like, huh, Heidi ho. You know, it's like, maybe I'll spend some time with the kid traumatized by my loss and death in this universe because I'm my evil doppelganger now. And he's like, yeah, sure. It's like, I know it's like 200 years in the future, but like Cisco never saw Twin Peaks. Stay away from the evil doppelganger, right? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that all of them sort of have structural disconnects and fall apart when we cross from one universe to the next. Deep Space Nine just accepts that they can't fix it, and they don't even try to hand wave it. Germ is the Deep Space Nine lore expert, and now I'm going to put you in the Bird of Prey 5 seat, where you have to defend their use of the mirror universe and how people just walked on and off, or to disavow it and say, yeah, they just done fucked up.
Yeah, they fucked up and they never bothered trying to fix it. They just ignored it. For some reason, they knew that it was bad ideas from the first episode. Just somebody loved the idea and apparently had the power to push at least one episode a season for it.
Yeah. They're only a little bit short of one a season. Let me ask you this. Do you believe that the last one contained a few admissions that they hadn't done the best job, especially the conversation that Nam and Worf and Nam and Quark had while they're being detained?
Yeah, there's a little bit of admission there because I think by that time they knew what had been going on and the series is ending anyway, so they're free to throw some people under the bus in little subtle ways.
Including maybe even themselves. I wonder if the original writer gets.
I don't think the original writer was on the last episode.
I wonder if he gets a fee for it or a co-writing credit. I mean the originator of the mirror universe idea. If he has to be a co-writer on everyone, he needs to get a based on ideas by, right? Doesn't he?
I would think so.
Why were they obsessed with calling it the parallel universe?
Oh, DS9?
They thought mirror universe sounded cheesy.
Well, even in Mirror Mirror, the first thing Kirk refers to is, could there be something parallel? He calls it a parallel universe.
That's true.
It was just the title of the episode was Mirror. They never said mirror in the episode itself.
Here's the thing. The Deep Space Nine episodes are also destructive to the first Star Trek episode with it. They're destructive to the TOS episode. They undermine it. They're not as good. And they cheapen the idea. The Enterprise episode, it doesn't hurt it and can be arguably said to enhance it. I don't know. Thoughts?
I don't think it has that much of an effect on the original. Because it's 100 some years into the future. They don't really have any overlap. It's just, oh yeah, a long time ago, we think this happened, and then Spock may or may not have fucked over the entire Empire.
Yeah, that was stupid. That was dumb why they did that.
Yeah. That was one of the things they were trying to buy back in that final episode, too.
Because you have to take all that stuff with a grain of salt, because you have to think of who the source is for all that. You never see any of the Terrans make any of those claims. It's just the intendant that spins that story.
I didn't like the idea that every single person over there knew about Mirror Kirk and knew about the Mirror Universe. You'd think that Spock would be like, well, there's some things people just don't need to know.
Yeah.
So here's the moment Archer takes over. She looks great. Jolene looks great. Let's take another quick look at that.
Oh,
maybe that needs to be a little larger.
Yeah.
Thank you, MikeSussman and Manny Cotto.
And thank you, Jolene, for being okay with it.
He doesn't have the shaved in from behind Star Trek sideburns. I'm trying to remember if he ever did with his hair
the
being
daggers?
the color it is. We never noticed. Yeah.
Yeah,
He doesn't have them.
Yeah. It's a little subtle thing. But you're right. I never noticed that he had actually dyed his hair for this.
It takes a minute to notice it because it's so subtle, but it's so weird.
Maybe they did it just to make him seem a little more sinister.
Yeah, that's what I think they were doing.
Yeah, that's probably it. But it does make sense. I think it makes sense of what I was saying. Like the guy's vain about like, you know, he puffs his chest and he look at me and how good this uniform looks. He's very much about appearance. Well, it may not be like to attract women or anything, but it's just he's just so self-vain.
I can see how you could be right on that one.
I both work.
I had a different headcanon on it, and mine was this. I thought that, and what the hell happened? Was there a news event or something? Like, anybody still out there? If you could watch the browser open, it'll help. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But if you're still here, we welcome you. And if you're coming through later, we got the end of the episode coming up. I'll just say, this was my thought. You ready? The mirror universe is slightly more radical, and that like maybe like something like 70, 80 years earlier, he had like one or two slightly different ancestors, maybe even like 200 years earlier. There are a couple of slightly different ancestors, and this Archer is still like Archer more or less as we know, but he's subtly genetically, he's got like just a little bit of a different like long tail DNA effect going on. And this Archer just has dark hair. That's my theory. What do you guys think of that one?
Yeah, it works. I like mine better.
Yours works good too. Yours is not dismissible. What do you think, Jerem?
Yeah, it's years of being ground down by forests. He feels the need to puff up at every occasion.
So he's covered. Okay. Here's that great moment where he takes the one thing that Forrest has that everyone wants, which is the beautiful Hoshi, kiss of the Spider Woman, as in Venom's girlfriend. I like the look of the Tholian ships. I thought they were cool. Here's our Tholian. They say the Tholians have both male and female characteristics, and they say it that way, which is a step less ridiculous than ladies, gentlemen, and members of various intergender species, as Data says in Star Trek Insurrection, in one of the stupidest moments in Star Trek history. But when they deal with this thing, they do respect its pronouns, consistently calling it it. So good job there. They're very politically correct in the evil mirror universe. Makes sense to me. This was some of John Billingsley's most fun acting because as evil Dr. Phlox, it wasn't massively different from some of the things we had started feeling about some of the shortcuts and moral like dilemmas and terrible things that he had done across the course of the series in one or two poorly considered episodes. And also the fact that he truly did come across alien. You're the Tholian and Phlox in general and Mirror Phlox, sort of not massively different from regular Phlox. It was interesting. You get this one first. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, he's same guy. Like he said about the literature, exact same, a little bit darker, but when you come to Shakespeare, morbid as hell wherever you go. He's just that type of guy, universe to universe.
I wonder what Mirror Edgar Allan Poe would have been like.
Mirror Edgar Allan Poe is probably like a comedy writer. This mirror universe didn't have any bizarro elements except that Archer was just like a disorganized, malignant narcissist with like deep insanity and insecurity. It was a pretty cool psychological picture. It was not incomplete. It has been said by our friend Doomcock that he does not believe that Scott Bakula can play a bad dude because he's too nice of a guy.
I agree
That
with that.
might be true.
Yep,
the episode is aware of that, though, and it doesn't have him play a directly evil person so much as he's fucking crazy.
He's insane. Yeah. I think they were smart to write him that way. I think they knew Bakula is an amazing actor. I think
he's great insane. He sells functioning insane person quite well.
Yeah, but he can't do evil or mean. You know who can do evil or mean really well, who's also a really nice guy? And it's his birthday today. Call him Meanie.
Oh, hey, happy birthday to
Chief
He's
72.
O'Brien.
Yeah, he's 72 today.
You know, my friend Lance had me watch a movie with him called Very Bright Creatures. It's on Netflix with him and Sally Field. It's a romance story with him and Sally Field. They act their asses off. Yeah, he's an old Irish deadhead who owns like a fish, an aquarium or something like that.
And they fall in love?
They do fall in love.
Why does she keep falling in love? Remember Murphy's Romance? She fell in love with who's his name? Who played shit?
Bono? I don't know. What did you say? Irish people?
Help me out. A detective show from the 70s. James Garner.
Okay.
Murphy's Romance. Sally Field falls in love with James Garner.
I can't see the connection between her and Colm Meaney.
No, but Colm Meaney plays a real good asshole.
In this one, he plays like a really nice person very well.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend the movie. It's pretty good. And welcome back. What did I miss, guys? It's good to see everyone here. Thank you for watching with the banner, with the tab open. It's really effing appreciated. You guys are the best. Bon appetit, my friends. We're serving up some more details about this episode. We found the Tholian to be fun, and Germ weighed in on Phlox. In general, Mirror Phlox, John Billingsley. It's good to see you and have a great night. I thought that John Billingsley did a great job in this role, better than most of his other Enterprise acting, where he misses the mark. He's really good at comedy. He's really good at comedy.
I think he'd do real well as like a Snidely Whiplash type.
You're probably right. Sean, what did you think of Billingsley in this segment? And the Phlox of the Mirror Universe.
He was freaking great. I thought he was amazing.
Face turn at the end.
Evil. He's just loving torturing that thing. Will you kindly die?
His face turn at the end is because he's scared of Archer. They convince him that Archer is so dangerous that he's going to throw him in that booth or worse. He's scared to death of Archer, but he becomes part of like our hero faction. Basically, Saval, who's on the Avenger, or is it called the Vengeance? It's the Vengeance, isn't it?
Avenger.
Is it the Avenger? Vengeance would have been a better name, right, Jerm?
Might have been, but I'm pretty sure it's the Avenger.
Avengers, but avenging something is justified. Vengeance is just plain mean.
Either way.
But it goes. I love those. Yeah, like a British ship would be named the Avenger, right?
Right.
I love how the British name their ships.
The best one ever is the Indefatigable because it has the word Teague in it.
Teague-tatious. Teagalicious. There you go.
That's the fighters that it can launch, the Teagalicious Squadron. All right. We got a couple other pictures here for you. Fun stuff. The Tholians in the past in the Mirror Universe have a better, faster deploying mirror like web than the regular Tholians. That is one small problem.
I disagree.
They're the only race that are tech advanced. Go ahead.
I disagree because in the Tholian web, one of those ships was damaged. And it was only 2 of them. This one, there's several, and they were all fully functional.
Wow, it was more well researched than I even thought. Like so every wrinkle and every time we poke this with an idea and try to question their logic, we're finding out that they actually did somewhat tighter of a job than we even anticipated. So the research is fantastic. By the way, I love the planet that they put behind it. I love this like weird planet out there. It's cool. Why it's still there is beyond me. Didn't they detonate its sun? I guess maybe they took it somewhere else, but just Archer, when he tells the story about how the Tholians communicate with the mirror Tholians, that's really crazy. They're the only people benefiting from that. And I guess they can only exchange so much tech, but I love this. Is like, yeah, we've got this great plan to fuck people over. We'll blow up a star and suck a ship inside. And when Archer's describing their plan, like, he's like all hyped up. And that's when the crazy, like, their plan worked brilliantly. Like, he's so intense and crazy. I really liked it.
Yeah. Good night, Michelle.
And thank you everybody for jumping in there to join and wishing the good night. And yeah, long live Empress Sada. We started the show with her. It had been a good long time since we did it. Basically, there are reasons to believe that if you have an intro, you might want to vary it up and not use the same one over and over. That was one of our risk reduction strategies. Don't have it so that when you hover over the thumbnail, you see the same thing every time. I don't know that the humans who come along later are very thorough. You know what I mean? I don't know how much they do. I just don't know. So it's best to just be real careful, which is why we've been cranking out video essays. I'm planning on another one this week. It's late, but Order 66 script writing broke down on me. It takes a little while to write these scripts. The conversational ones are actually technically the hardest. The ones where I have to talk should be easier, but like I talk like a neurally divergent individual, or someone with intellectual disorder. You know what? Good.
I like off the cuff Teague.
He shows up here and there, or in an off-the-cuff manner. I think they replicate the way the bridge looks on the Defiant perfectly. However, they've upgraded the displays
a little bit. They upgraded it just enough, right? Like you can see there's some text on the buttons and some text on the screens, but it's not overdone.
There's a lot more buttons, but not a whole hell of a lot more.
Just enough that you can tell it's not cardboard like it was originally.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fully fleshed out functional buttons. It may be gibberish on the screen, but there's actual stuff on the screen.
Is this the TNG
put good effort into it?
I equate this. Yeah, I equate this to the way they did the remasters, where they did it as if they had a better budget in the original show. That's what we would have seen. I feel that's what they did here.
It's an angle we see on the regular show a lot, though. They pan in from this direction, so they're reusing a familiar angle. I thought that was a smart callback rather than memberberry. I thought that was a really smart callback. I can almost hear some of the different musical flourishes that we would enter this from this angle at. The bam, 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 bam. I can hear it. I wonder if they went to the set in Lake Ticonderoga, New York, and filmed there. It's really perfect. I wonder if it's the same location set or the same props used in.
They probably
TNG
built
Relics.
it. They probably built it.
Is it the set from Relics?
It could be the set from Relics. It could also be from Trials and Tribulations. Oh no, they didn't. They just superimposed them on that one. They didn't build.
Yeah, they're like rotoscoped in.
Let me look it up.
Here's the end of the ISS Enterprise NX-01, as seen from the view screen of the Defiant. And I believe the light pattern on the Defiant view screen is the same as it was in TOS. They did a good job. If we notice, whenever we went to another Constellation class ship, it always had a slightly different like light scan below the view screen. Did you ever notice that when we show it, it was always just a little aesthetically different?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. The interweb says, yes, they built a nearly full brand new physical bridge set from scratch for the Defiant scenes.
And here he is, the man himself, ladies and gentlemen. That's MikeSussman. Look how young he is there.
Because I definitely want to talk to him at the con.
Great jacket, by the way, buddy.
I want to ask him how cool was it to be on that set. That had to have been so awesome. You can ask him
where it was. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, we'll find out.
They built it. You were right. Well, no, we just found out here. Look at that. There's some of the other sets behind it. There's like an airlock behind him from another scene.
How cool. Great research, sir.
I'm going to guess that he really enjoyed it. Thank you. Yes, I am a great researcher. I heavily scripted and put in dozens of hours for every show. It's 400 hours of scripting for every 1 minute of show. That's how structured we are, guys. Somebody like a very similar phaser wound to the one we see on Vic Fontaine when that live. I'm going to guess that I think it was JT was right. It was someone made a replicant of Vic Fontaine. They don't have holodecks there, so they made a replicant of him. What do you think?
Oh, it looks like they borrowed the captain's chair for that. That's the actual chair
from the Ticonderoga Museum, or
from the
Smithsonian.
Yeah, it says the production team borrowed the captain's chair and center helm navigation console from the fan film production. So the fan film production had built one, and they borrowed it.
That is funny. All right, and also we should just let you guys know they took stuff really seriously. MikeSussman said in an interview that I saw that when they made the readouts on some of these screens, for one of them, when they're talking about the life stories of Mira Archer and Mira Hoshi, Mira Hoshi's life is not so very different than you would expect would happen for regular Hoshi, except she's violent and horrible. Hey, Radioactive, sir.
Radioactive, sir.
Good to see Radioactive, sir. We're going to have to get together with Radioactive. You know what? Tomorrow I have decided that there will be a member meeting, by the way. I didn't do a member stream this month. So this time we're going to follow the member stream rules. And I'm going to invite Germ to, what do you think of this? You, me, and all the members watch Dutton Ranch. Because we won't have time to do a review show of it this week to get our member stream in. It's make or break episode 4.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, so we'll have the time announced by the end of the show when Germ's done thinking it over. And hey, Jamie's saying hi to Sean.
Hi, Jamie. I said hi to Jamie earlier, but I think she had popped out. At least I said hi in the chat.
But Jamie said hello before, because she knows what hello is for. She knows it means a little more than to just say hi. Whoa, 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 Jamie saying hi. And whoa, come on, it's fun. Guys, part of the endeavor here, part of the journey is to have a few laughs on the way. We love talking Star Trek, and we love this episode. We did cover it deeply in depth, so like really mirror universe retrospective after a few more facts. Part 2, when the survivors take control of the advanced vessel and pursue ambitious and ruthless goals to shift the balance of power in the Empire, really says it all. Everything everyone does is Archer's heading back to Earth. He's going to confront the fleet. We finally see, for the only time ever, Captain Gardner. He's Admiral Gardner. And that's when we have one of the best manifestations of regular Archer. he's like whispering in Mirror Archer's ear. You can see the difference in their hair color right there. And my God, is Mirror Archer a fucking mental mess? He is absolutely insane. He would definitely, like, he ate Porthos, this Archer. And it occurs to me, we have not seen Porthos at all this season, have we?
Wait, Porthos was is like a pit bull or a Rottweiler or something in this one.
He fed regular Porthos to that Porthos.
Oh,
that's right. Porthos is a vicious attack dog.
Yeah.
We saw him a couple
He doesn't
times
care when he loses.
Season 4.
What's that, Sherm? Sorry.
We saw Porthos a couple times in season 4. He's just not featured heavily.
Yeah, I forgot was she, right? We gender swapped Porthos early on in the show.
Episode 2.
Say hi to each other.
Yeah.
I
had a beagle.
The last time we see it, so he's only in Broken Bow. It's only a male.
Yeah, I had a beagle, and it's kind of hard to tell if they're fixed, what they are, if you're looking at them from behind.
We just kept catching Porthos from the side, and his manliness was extraordinary, I guess, for a beagle. He just was like, he had more raw, big D power than Snoopy. And Radioactive Actual says, no worries.
Oh, yeah, it was.
You to do an elite training show, too. A new update is going to be at the end of the month. We should definitely talk about that because a lot of people on the channel love and play it. So, yeah, tomorrow you're all invited. Jerem, what time do you think would be good? 8 p.m. or 8 p.m. might be a little late for me. I have found out that there's a lot of stuff going on. So, like, would you be willing to do one at, like, say, 5 your time? Well, that would be 8. Oh, sorry, at like say
8.
1, like 3 your time.
Yeah, we can do that.
Maybe even a little earlier, like 2 your time.
Wait, for what now?
We're going to do a member stream tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the.
I gotta go see.
Gotta
go see Mom O'Teague in the evening for a little while, so I can't be around all day. And it is the end of the month. I didn't get a chance to make a video, and I want to honor my obligation. So everyone, like, it'll be the word will go out in the usual way. The pass will be in the usual place for people. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, we can do it at 2 Pacific time, 5 Eastern.
So, yeah, okay, cool. This way I can get in 2 or 3 hours with people and still have time to organize my life. And anyone who can join us from the panel or the show, welcome to be there. And we'll watch at least Dutton Ranch. And, instead of getting a upload on this one, you get us talking about it right to you. It's a great show, and we'll have fun with that one. So getting to the end of the Mirror Universe episode, this all features some real sexy stuff from Linda Park. Jolene Blalock looks great, but this is more than anyone else's episode. I think Linda's episode. I think Linda steals the show throughout this episode. Yeah. I think we see her looking extremely beautiful, extremely duplicitous, showing a high amount of charisma, and also like this Mirror Universe and Enterprise has 1 or 2 bizarro traits to it. Like, for instance, it's like the bizarro Mirror Universe in the sense that, like, some people are just opposite. Like, Hoshi had a shyness problem, and she was too naive. This Hoshi is really fucking underhanded and very assertive. She'll try to jump fucking a Vulcan with a knife. She's just a human. That Vulcan can throw you into a bulkhead and turn you into a cat. Like, you'll blow up like a ketchup packet, like Odo did when Bashir blasts him. By the way, single most out of character act by anyone in the Mirror Universe has to be Bashir deciding to just red rum Odo. And hey, we have this. It could just be some pre-animate matter. Sean, put up a containment field. I'm going to beam up this life signal from the planet. Hey, Mark. How you doing?
Hey, good evening. Hey, sorry getting here so late. I was working in my Jeffries tube all night, which is my attic, because we're getting AC put in. So I've got all this attic work I got to do to prep. I'm like, oh, lots of fun.
Did your wife
run the wires for me?
Did your wife pull a Vulcan mind meld on you so that you installed the wires wrong so that you can get in trouble for it later?
Yeah, well, actually, I had her
Like
the
the
circuit
ball
breaker.
does to
I'm like, turn these breakers off because I got to do some wiring and I want to make sure the wire's off before I do it. She's like, but why do I have to? I'm like, just off and on, off and on. That's all you got to do. So she helped me, yeah. So I was doing that fun stuff in the attic, but not too. It's cold up here this time of year right now for this time of year.
So you're getting central air put in? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, central air. Yeah, we're moving up in the world. Yeah, so the attic. So they gotta work in the attic and put it in the attic. So like it's like the project I started 20 years ago and never finished, and then you finish it, when you have to.
I'm crazy this way. I like to have the wall unit because I like to have one super cold room and then the other rooms be like closer to normal temperature. But I'm weird that way. Like I keep my main room super freezing cold.
You could have central air and then put an extra air conditioner in your room if you wanted.
That is true. That would be what I would do. I would just
my wife that. Yeah.
I wish I could put a mini split in my room here.
I would say this: you probably would still want one wall unit in your bedroom in case, like a window unit in your bedroom in case one goes down, or at least one to have to throw in so you have a place to retreat if the central ever goes down. Because like now it's all or nothing on the whole house for one thing. But hey, congratulations on moving up in the world. Let me ask you questions I asked everyone else, and just give me some quick answers on this one. I thought they were kind of enlightening. Some of them are yes or no. This might be the very best universe tale because it's so well conceived.
Yeah, in the Mirror Darkly, yeah, that's. It's number 2 to Mirror Mirror. I mean, I'm looking at the vote in the chat. I voted for Mirror Mirror. It's almost like it's not fair. It's like Mirror Mirror is like the automatic winner, and then
every TOS episode will probably beat anything from anyone else, right? Good night, Sigvaldes and sir. So, you know what? We'll keep the Cthulhu caged for you until you're the moment you're ready. We don't really have a lot of information on the Cthulhu. We do know this: if it gets really bad and Doomcock won't do it, me, Sean, Germ, and JT have a halfway decent team of like Fox Force 5ing our way in there with the information we've gained in our various trips to the lair. Like we have a partial schematic developed.
Hey, and look who's here, everybody.
Hey, West Kegel.
And West, we have your intro ready.
Program identified. Loading Pride Weather Simulation West Kegel 2.
The Blue Oyster music. The Blue Oyster music makes it perfect fair use marksmanship, sir. Well played. It's good to see our pal Wes Kegel. All right, so these episodes are very well aware of how badly Deep Space Nine got it wrong. It seems to have been.
Think so?
Like, I'm throwing that one to you, Mark.
Is it just good? It's just good writing. I mean, are they different? I can't remember now who the writers were. It's
Sussman for episode 2 and Sussman and Kodo for episode 1, if I have that right.
Okay. Yeah. So I think it's just more talented writing than, or not to insult the other writers, but the DS9 stuff was mostly garbaggio, and the Mirror Universe was just for the actors, just to, I think, exercise their acting chops. You had some fun moments, but the story just didn't work. And these episodes, and I love seeing what happened to Defiant. Like, that's brilliant writing, right? What all Star Trek fans want to know. Yeah, what did happen to Defiant? It did go 100 years in the past. What happened to it? So that's a great way to weave a new tale, kind of like Bucky and with Captain America's sidekick Bucky, when Bucky was the only one of the few characters actually stayed dead in the Marvel universe. Famous last words. But what a great tale that they wove to explain what happened to Bucky. Bucky just didn't appear out of nowhere. They did a great job explaining where he went. So knowing this whole back tale with Defiant, and it's got to be a prequel, right? Because it's
points out, by the way, that's
No, Mark, it's something I brought up earlier in the show. This show, I think one of the wonderful things about it shows great writing is, if you agree, this show is both a prequel to Mirror Mirror because it's set before them.
Yeah.
And it's also a sequel to the Tholian Web.
Yeah, that's what's great. And let's see if
It's
my
both.
I
And
got
there's
my
no
new
real bleed
Galileo hat.
over.
Check this out.
Oh, let's
Sorry,
go.
just checking my camera
on,
out.
bigging
With the... oh, I got my new glasses on, my new computer glasses. I don't know how
nerd.
Enough with those.
Very charming. I like them.
I like your hat. Where'd you get that hat?
So this was the donation
I'll be having one
to.
soon.
This was the donation to bringing the shuttlecraft Galileo to Fort Ticonderoga. So that was Land the Galileo project. So this was the hat. I got a hat and I got a. Let me grab the shirt. Let me turn the camera off for 1 second. I'll grab the shirt to show everyone. Hold on.
Mark's tearing his shirt off right now, guys. Ladies, he's already taken. You'll see it in a moment.
I want to. Yeah,
I want to see you. I want to see you put it on.
Oh my God!
Nice.
I love it.
So
you got to wear that to a con.
That implies we have 6 other shuttlecrafts at least.
Yeah. How cool! I helped land the Galileo. Awesome.
Yeah.
There's something I just did. They come with a letter from the fundraiser saying, remember, Mr. with a D, Mr. C, Mr. with a C, you can only drain a phaser so fast.
Right? Yeah, and watch out for giant Bigfoots on any planets that you go to. Yep. I did everything by the book. I was so logical. I just don't understand.
I've got a couple more Star Trek questions on the episode for you. They serve as a prequel, as we said, to TOS's Mirror Mirror, and I think it perfectly prequels Mirror Mirror because it doesn't bleed. You can't. There's no bleed over into it. So here's my other question. We all said yes on this one. I think you probably will too. I've never seen the Tholian web the same way again since I saw Mirror Mirror.
Yeah, it's a great way to tie the two together. Tie the two together, and Tholian web is God. What a scary episode for Captain Kirk, right? Drifting around, and you think everyone thinks Uhura is nuts. I saw the captain right until he drifts in onto the bridge on that the final scene. It's one of those classic. It's a classic thing. Like no one wants to believe your protagonist. And everyone the audience is in on it, but it's not until until everyone else finds out that.
Where was
McCoy? Thankfully, they didn't drag that on too long. They didn't do. Yeah, but
where was McCoy? Where was McCoy with the psychological profile on that one, Sean? Where he's like, "Well, it makes sense. He'd appear in the hottest woman on the ship's quarters, trying to perv on her. There might be some ability to control this from his end, right? Like where?"
Yeah, I think it comes from unfulfilled desires that Uhura had.
Yeah, sure. I think William Shatner had some serious.
Ever since they were on the weird Greek planet with the little guy, she couldn't get over him. I know that was later on.
One day we'll check the Discord a Discord far away, but we do have a Discord. Maybe we'll roll it out during the member meeting so people can know about it. It's a place where you can go talk to your buddy, Admiral Teague.
I don't check Discord. I have enough messages on X. It's like, and I turned off the notifications because my phone would explode.
Oh yeah,
I saw someone complaining about getting X notifications at midnight, and someone telling them, "Oh, I hate that," and I'm like, "What is wrong with both of you?" I check X enough casually, and if I don't remember to check it, it's because it wasn't that important. I do not need notifications on X.
I turn them off too.
I just scroll up to the last time I saw that I said something, and then I know, okay, everything beneath that I probably didn't see.
Well, I have some good friends
that you see that stuff came in anyway, whether you have notifications on or off.
I have some good friends. We have a chat group, and some of them are turning into like grumpy old men. They're like, one of the guys was like different time zones. He's like, and I don't want to get text messages at 12 o'clock. I'm like, there's a thing like do not disturb you can set up on your phone. So
put airplane mode on, or
you can turn the ringer off. Like, stop whining about it. Just take it like a man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got a text message at midnight.
Sir,
if you put it on airplane mode, it turns it off, right?
It does.
Airplane mode does, yeah. But you actually can set certain people that can get through. Like my mom can always get through.
On airplane mode, like certain exceptions are still going to ring through. I found that out when I was supposed to turn it off at work, and my mom called me. Boy, was that ever embarrassing. I still had to take it, of course, because it's mom. I mean, fired is one thing, but we're talking like fired by mom. I mean, that's rough. By the way, how do you regard this as far as overall Star Trek stories? Does this maybe have a case be made as one of the top 100 best episodes of Star Trek? Because I say yes.
I think
I'm counting it as one episode.
Yeah, the two together. I think it does. You've got Jolene Blalock in that Mirror Universe episode. My VCRs got stuck. The tape got stuck at a few scenes for an extended period of time. I don't know what happened, but gotta check my VHS out. Yeah, but wowzers!
Did you pause the screen so long it burned the image into the television?
Burned the image into the television. Yeah.
Jay, you know what? If you would, guys, remember back in the day of analog videotape, we're talking like it was sort of like when you would try to jury rig the cable box so you could watch the dirty channel. Like Mark saw a lot of wavy Jolene stomach there. A little bit, but right? Everyone remember that effect? Like everyone's seen a lot of wavy Pamela Anderson.
And sometimes it would stabilize for just long enough. Like it would just sit there and go
foil. There was like a thing like put some tin foil in the cable box and it'll get the channel. But back in the day, it seemed like all the builders / contractors were selling illegal cable boxes that got like every channel, and I've told this.
We had one. My dad got one.
They probably would have been involved in that, but there's no mafia. So
so
I spent a lot of time on channel 20.
Do you remember what channel 53 was, Sean? So like my mother-in-law was over, and she's flipping through the channels, and on like 48 was like Cinemax, 49, 50. I'm like, friend, why don't you stop? Well, I think you should stop right now. Stop. And then she keeps going 51, 52. I'm like 53. And then she's like, well, this is interesting.
No, our dirty one was channel 20, the Spice channel.
Channel 20. Oh, that's a low number.
I was going to point out they're different channels everywhere.
Hold on, Admiral.
Every cable system.
Admiral Teague, incoming super chat.
West Kago. All I'll say is I'd bang Hoshi. You know what? If you banged Hoshi like Tom Hardy banged Hoshi, she'd get banged like she never got banged before. I guess. And her ex-boyfriend Tom Hardy in trouble. Like he's not coming back to that show Empire. He's like a moody maniac that they can't work with. This is the story out there right now. We don't know if this is true, but did anyone see that?
Which TV show? Empire? What show is that?
It's called Empire. Well, it's not a Star Wars show, thankfully. He hasn't fallen to that level yet. But I mean, if he really did get in trouble on real TV, Star Wars is obviously next, and he's going to be out there getting cocked or whatever.
I haven't heard that about Mr. Hardy, but you don't want to mess around with Shinzon, right? So
yeah, I don't know.
But a lot of these actors, I mean, I assume some of them become divas, when they get this popular and powerful. Just like people work, like any other job too, right? I mean, you got someone who's a boss at work and, get promoted, and they can just become a real a-hole too, right? Success goes to people's heads sometimes. And sometimes people being like a jerk too can get things done, right? I mean, on the other hand.
That's why I prefer to be an asshole from day one at a new job, so people will never say success changed me when I ultimately move up and pass them.
Admiral Teague, incoming super chat.
You guys are the best. Radioactive says with a generous $5 super chat. Wait, so Wes Kagan would send Hoshi into the mirror universe? Wes Kagan, a member for 29 months, as long as you can be a member for it. I thank you, sir. You must have joined day one. Thank you, sir. Yeah, everyone loves Hoshi. She's so gorgeous. And Wes Hagel says he would Radioactive wondering if he would send Hoshi into the mirror universe. Well, there's already a Hoshi there. And one thing that I'll ask Mark as we get back to the Star Trek side, and this part of the conversation brought to you by West and Radioactive. Thank you, sirs. You know what, Mark? Let me ask you. Let me unhide your face. Let me ask you. What do you think? True false statement, and you can expand on your thoughts as far as when it's done. the weakest part of every single Mirror episode is the transition. So this one having none whatsoever helps it out a lot. True or false?
I would agree with that. True. Yeah. So in the original episode, it's a transporter accident, right? Which is kind of a catch-all to explain things. Of course, DS9 makes the ridiculous assumption you can just flip between universes, kind of like you're in the TV show Sliders, which kind of diminishes
show
it
the
too.
beaming effect. You just like people just walk onto the set. I mean, Mira O'Brien kidnapping Prime Cisco, that I get. Like, there was some subterfuge and it was a rug pull, but like Mira Jennifer was just pure laziness. Mira Jennifer's appearance was so and commonplace. It was very new Trek. It's just like you could just get here.
Yeah, just transport over. Yeah, just push a button and get here. And I think sometimes the mystery works. Like, you don't have to answer every freaking question all the time. It's like, did we need the Star Wars prequels? I mean, I did like a lot of the prequels and you know, some scenes and things, but did I really need to see Darth Vader as a little, you know, cute little kid on the Tatooine driving a pod racer around? I mean, granted, that pod racing scene was awesome, but I don't need to see that. And it kind of wrecks Darth Vader. Like, Darth Vader's never as scary thinking, you know, Jake Lloyd is a little, you know, a little kid, a little Luke, basically.
They probably should have started with Hayden Christensen. I'll also say this: it destroys the Sand People because one of them pulls off an awesome shot. Like, you know, it's like, it's like, who did this? Who would do this to the Jawas who sold the droids to Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru? I'm not sure. They rode like Imperial stormtroopers to hide their numbers, but the blast points are too precise, like Sand People.
And don't mention the Book of Boba Fett, what they did to the freaking sand, you know, the sand.
Maybe that was just their version of Lee Harvey Oswald,
right?
Well, I know this Germ has to get going, so before he runs, I want if he has a moment, Germ, sir, you're doing a tremendous job. Can you tell me the grade for this one and your biggest thoughts?
Overall, it's an A. Very well written. My favorite part is actually the set. They're very true to the original, updating it where they had to, but they didn't go way out into left field like the new Trek BS did. That's probably my favorite. Just glad they had the attention to detail for that.
All right. And so your grade is definitely an A. And tomorrow we'll see you around 2 p.m. your time, 6 p.m. my time, maybe a little later, give or take, because I got Miami Vice at 1. So maybe 2:33. And we will do a couple of hours with everybody to watch Yellowstone and tell you what's going on in June, which was the most watched month for this channel last year. By the way, I eliminated and unlisted all of my shows from before a year ago, which is something they tell you to do. I can't thank my panel and all of you wonderful people out there enough that something like 60% of all Admiral Teague views ever are the last year. I've been around for 4 years. The last year has featured less and shorter shows than ever before. You guys have really rewarded me with more views than I ever could have asked for. And I thank you for the bottom of my heart. And the watch hours, too, are quite flattering. So this YouTube does tell you to get rid of stuff more than a year old for cleanup measures anyway, and to clean up your analytics. So when I did that and I saw the drop in my hours, I still had a little more than half of all of them left. And I'm like, wow. What a fantastic 12 months. Thanks, guys. You're the best. Sean, Germ, Mark, JT, wherever you are. You're doing a tremendous job, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
To help.
Yeah.
You know what, Germ? Before you beam off, I think that we need to play this just for you. Ready? Here we go. This is the guide to the mirror universe from President Trump. We haven't used it in a while. We won't get to use it again. So let's play it one more time as Germ gets ready to leave.
A Terran who doesn't know the rules.
Sir, we have to take orders.
Well, we'll see to it that he learns them. What's your designation?
Sir, could you give us a name?
Bashir, Julian.
Sir, my name is Razor. Sir!
Is that a joke?
Sir, would you please sign this order?
No jokes.
Sir!
It's funny how William Shatner still steals that one. Sir! All right. So, Germ, thank you. You got anything going on this week?
Nothing right now.
All right. Well, let me beam you back down to the planet. And thanks for another great effort. You're a great guy. I love you, buddy.
Bye, Germ.
Take care, Germ.
Hey, everybody.
And
the Germs.
Admiral.
Admiral Teague, incoming super chat.
Oh, RRTNZ with a very generous $5 super chat had to step away for a while. Have we got to the part where Archer takes Millennium Falcon to the depths of Mordor to rescue Doctor Who from the Cylons? We've actually been. It takes a minute for the absurdity for it to hit you. You've really, since the end of Chuck Norris, RRTNZ has reinvented his humor to go with the absurdist, and it's real funny stuff. Hey, buddy, thank you for the thank you. And you know what? No, we didn't get to that part. We also we didn't get to the part where Captain Archer hits the jukebox and it just turns on. That's
Like
gonna happen a little
fun.
later. yeah, right. I've been to Wisconsin. Like, there's very few people there that cool or that thin. I think, was it our heaviest state? I felt really short.
Louisiana is the heaviest state.
When I was in Minnesota, I was the shortest and the thinnest person there. Everyone was really super fucking tall. I'm like average height. I was a tiny, teeny, tiny little Star Trek alien there. Like,
You know, it'd be
people
cool,
like,
you know,
sir, are you a jockey? Go ahead.
God, if you could beam away the fat, right? I'm thinking the future. Like, I ate too much this week. Doc McCoy, can you just beam out some fat cells? That'd be great.
Oh, that would be great. We could just like beam you and like beam you back thinner. It's called the Ozempicator. We have one on deck 4. By the way, did you hear the story? It was on YouTube to a certain extent. A lot of it got purged off. I heard this from a Paramount employee. Series Access Mill, Carice Brooks banned from ever working for Paramount again for crazy talk, fan bashing, producer hating, and doxing.
Yeah, I had you on in the Jeffries too by my communicator, and I heard you talking about that, and you actually did mention my name there when being at the con
as a character witness that she might be nuts.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I thought she had a really emotional reaction, but it seemed like a little over the top. And I'm like, oh, God bless her, she's crying because she's got her big break. But I hadn't heard that. But you said she was, doing some really horrible stuff, and allegedly, and it's pretty easy to get. It's just like any work situation, right? If you screw up, you're not going to come back, right? So especially in a public facing job like this, as an actress, no one knows
When you get to tell the Ellisons what show they're going to have on,
Yeah.
like, okay. And the salary, almost $400,000.
Well, I think that people, I think maybe it went to some of the actors' heads in terms of, attacking the fans and why don't you like our show? Our show's the best ever. And, the show sucked, right? So it was terrible. It's not because we care about the actors or actresses. I mean, it's just the horrible nature of the show, right? And how bad the scripts were. And when you're rooting against some of the main characters to like not make it through an episode, something's really wrong with the writing. So I guess I could see I'd be defensive of me on the show.
Star Trek irrevocably. A word that will never irrevocably. That word will never have the same meaning again.
Yeah, the sad thing is they don't even probably know Star Trek. Like the one actor I saw at one of the at Comic-Con a few years ago, I'm forgetting the character he played on Section 31, but he played that robot, his name, but it was like this robot cyborg, that ridiculous.
Oh, the mech man.
But he knew
that
his
guy
Star
was
Trek
apologetic left and right about the fucking movie.
And before that, he was answering questions about Star Trek, and someone asked a question like, "How does Star Trek fit into Section 31?" The contrast. And he gave he said I didn't 100% agree with, but he gave a good answer, and he named TNG episodes, and he knew his Trek.
Yeah, he knew his lore.
Tell when people are faking it.
He was visibly frustrated with being in it, and he was one of the people who broke ranks. He, if I remember correctly, told people before it came out not to watch it.
Oh, he did? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
He was like,
he was a real Trek fan. It seemed like, yeah.
Kal-El saying it sounds like Game of Thrones in reverse. My name
was that an article you
Sydney Sweeney
article about Mill that you saw, or
it was a tip I got from within Paramount.
Oh, okay. That's what you said. Yep.
I heard within Paramount. But here's the thing. This is old news because Grok did confirm there's a rash of YouTube reports of crazy behavior by her from last week. Everyone was on it last week while we were doing other stuff, and it just slipped by me. So I apologize to my audience. I'm supposed to be on top of these things, but Carice Brooks was someone I assessed as a mentally ill person at the premiere. I commented to Mark that she sounded a little bit mentally sketch when she cried, because honestly,
seems a lot like her character in the show.
Well, no, that character was light.
But
yeah, no, she was a lot like the character in the show. And why would you make a big hologram? You know, if I was going to make a hologram, I would make one like
Sydney Sweeney,
Blade Runner 2048, or Ana de Armas, right? In Blade Runner 2048, where she's the hologram.
Hey, if guys are in charge of designing the freaking holograms,
she was created by other holograms, so they probably didn't know what the hell they were doing.
That hologram company, creation company, consulted Sweet Baby Inc. That was the problem. Their first contact with humans was with Sweet Baby Inc.
It was Space Fubu.
Guys, if you're a fan of my program, please make sure that you tweet out like some timestamp stuff, like Admiral Teague goes after diversity. Admiral Teague has small-minded takes, because I have haters, but I can always use some more. I can always use it. Like John Delaraz has some really good haters, and we talked to John Delaraz during the week. He of JDA Talks, and then I reported the conversation back to my friends by screenshotting it back to Delaraz. And he was laughing at how stupid I was. And then we had a conversation for a while just about Star Trek. He's actually okay. We don't know when or if he'll be on this show, but he said
love to talk with him.
Would do it. He says when his toddler is in school, which to me would say could be anywhere from a couple of weeks till September, because we don't know what kind of day school or how long or what kind of school he meant in context. If he means when she gets out of college, I'm afraid it's not going to be very useful, and we're going to have to start jogging. But yeah.
Oh, we have someone who just came into the chat here.
Lemon Pie. Hell, Lemon Pie.
Hello, Lemon Pie.
And OG Admiral Teague sub. Thank you for being here, sir.
You know what's weird? Look at the screen. Wait, go back and highlight his thing. There's a wrench on there. On the thing you're showing.
Shows wrenches.
Yeah.
StreamYard shows wrenches. YouTube shows shields. It's weird. That's why we were confused. Yeah, why are they doing this? Like we don't want a wrench.
We think the wrench goes a bit too far in a few places.
And Kal-El, Kal-El Super 64, our Superman says, I was referring to when Admiral Teague was saying that people were rooting for the characters in Starfleet's Learning Center to lose. In Leering Center to lose in Game of Thrones, people were hoping certain characters would win. Oh, in that sense, I think we were rooting for like a meteorite to slip by undetected, or another whale sensing probe, something that they couldn't get. A probe looking for any intelligent life that wasn't a whale on Earth. It's like the whales are okay. We'll transplant them to like, the moon of Jupiter, but we're going to like eradicate these humans. Like, you almost wish that there was another Nomad out there. It's like, could Jackson Roykirk have designed several more probes, or another Voyager? It's like, where's Voyager 7?
Right.
Like, Voyager 7.
Elon Musk's, roadster that they sent out with that astronaut suit, like that comes back.
And the copy of Hitchhiker's Guide.
Worlds. Yeah.
The Elon Roadster fell into what was once called a black hole. What do they call them now? And why is every Star Trek black hole a portal? But
Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay, yes. Whoopi Goldberg is Richard Nixon coming this fall. All the President's Persons with a corrected cast featuring Meryl Streep as Kissinger and Jessica Chastain as F. Lee Bailey. I'm sorry. Who's the guy who broke into who's the lunatic who broke into the hotel? The nutty he was on an episode of Miami Vice, crazy asshole.
Gordon Liddy. G. Gordon
Liddy, yeah.
Yeah, his AOL email was potent357 at AOL.com.
I met him. He spoke at my college.
Potent357?
Potent 357 at AOL.com. Yeah, because he had his radio show. I used to listen on in New York, and God, he was fun to listen to. He was the guy that when he went to prison to show his how tough he was, he just took a candle and just held it and burned his hand and didn't flinch, so the prisoners knew not to mess with him, because they sent all those Watergate guys into like the most notorious prison in DC. They didn't get sent to like a white collar prison. Yeah, they sent them to the worst place. And
they deeply analyzed where they could send them.
Did he go, I was Joan of Arc in my former life?
Yeah.
Remember a movie
no one
that was
messed
from?
with him. No, which one was that from?
Coming to America, when they were talking to all the girls in the bar, and she had the candle over her hand.
Oh, okay.
She said she was Joan of Arc.
Oh God,
that's Arsenio.
Admiral Teague, incoming super chat.
Good shot, Sean. You had that super chat lined exactly up. I was targeting it myself. Speaking of meteors, says Wes Kagan with a $5 Greenlandian greenback super chat. I like calling it that. By the way, that's another reason why Grok said my show is heavily right coded. I don't know.
Were you always right?
I am always correct, but I mean, I don't think that's what it meant. It also said that, like, by defending Mary Wiseman, we were also being very right wing. And like, well, if being old fashioned and saying that it's not fair to ugly her up, or to differentiate that the character is ugly and the actress is pretty, is wrong, I don't want to be right. I don't want to live in that world. I need my pain. It makes me who I am. Speaking of meteors, I was hoping that the one over Boston would actually impact on that god awful city. And that awful band, okay? Let's talk for a moment about the horror story that is Boston. While
they have a god-awful mayor, that's for sure.
But I'm talking about the progressive rock band from the 70s and 80s. I want to talk for a moment about
cover. Yeah,
they have some good album covers. Yeah, they were smart. They knew. But I just want to say right now, I think that guy is my least favorite guitar player because of the sound of his guitar. It sounds like a violin. I absolutely despise his guitar. I despise his soloing sound. He is a genius. He invented the Rockman. I had one because it's great. He's an MIT grad.
MIT engineer, yeah.
He mostly sits around designing guitar pedals and effects and makes albums to showcase his great ability to do so.
I mean,
Some
he
of them
did
have
that.
Okay songs.
Yeah, that first album. I mean, that's one of my favorite all-time albums. I remember listening to that album. My buddy Mike bought that in the Caldor store, and we listened to it in his old Buick in his 8-track. He had an 8-track player, but you had a converter that you could put a cassette into an 8-track, and we listened to that whole. We bought it and listened to the album.
Oh,
in
going
the parking lot. And I mean, every song on that album is phenomenal. I mean, and the tech that he did, he produced that whole album in his basement, actually. No one could believe how clean it sounded, how good it sounded, because he was such a genius engineer. I mean, yeah, if you don't like them, you know.
I think he had two advantages, though. Like he was really, really wealthy. to begin with to afford that equipment, right? That's how he ends up at MIT. So,
he's a genius. Yeah.
He is still a genius, but I don't know if anyone finds out if he's just, some guy with no money. His parents were obviously doing all right to get him in there.
Well, but plus when you're that uber smart too, it's like these people there's like a level of smart, then there's like Spock level smart, and it's just
he was
just they can
definitely
do things
as smart as Spock.
And that was his niche too. Sometimes people gravitate towards, that's their natural talent. And like my dad was an inventor, so he was always tinkering and inventing things. And he can't fix anything mechanical, design things. It was obscene how good he was. I called him like a mechanical Mozart because he could.
Well, I mean, he unshrank you, so I mean, he definitely knew what he was doing.
Yeah. He invented the jigsaw, actually, but he doesn't get credit for it. But
wow.
So he took his mom's sewing machine, put a saw blade on it when he was like 12, and he called it a sewing machine. And this was in Switzerland. And the same time, Bosch is credited with inventing the jigsaw, the guy, and he did the same exact thing as my dad in Switzerland. So my dad would always joke like, maybe that was Jean-Luc's friend. His dad saw my machine and copied. He doesn't, he was just laughing or joking, or could have been a coincidence. But there's a picture on the Bosch website, and my dad, we have one picture of the sawing machine that he made, and it's exactly the same thing. And there was no jigsaw back then, so that was like he was always inventing things and creating things. And if you're an electrician, you would know you'd use his tool. Like his most famous invention was for electricians. So, but I mean, just he could fix anything. It was like, but he couldn't program the freaking VCR. Like he worked in the space program, but he's like, Mark, what is this crap with this VCR? It never records pattern when it's on. He couldn't like do simple basic stuff or like.
I think that's a dad trait. My father was able to help catch Son of Sam, but he was not able to figure out who was smoking weed in the garage.
So Kal-El says, so your dad was a real life Scotty.
Oh yeah, he could fix anything. But the curse of that too was like we would have to do all the work in the house too. So we had like a money pit house, and the joke was like, oh, Mark's friends are coming over. Let's get them to move sheetrock, Or like one time we had a pool and all my buddies are over and like it's 90 degrees up, but my dad had like 4 tons of gravel delivered to like put around the house to like, putting gutters that, for drainage. And my dad's like shoveling, and we're like, they're like, fuck, Mr. D is like working. And he didn't ask us to help. He's like, but we can't be in the pool while he's like shoveling and moving gravel. So.
It's like 100 degrees out. Everyone's in the pool. And it's like, this would be a good day to move rocks around.
Yeah. I had a friend who before he ever was allowed to go out anywhere, he had to vacuum the house and do some other chores. And his mom was so smart because when she knew we were all going to go out together, she would give him a big list of chores to do because she knew we were going to help him.
My wife gets
their house is always so clean.
My wife would always get mad, like, my kids' friends over. I'm like, say we had to get like all the ornament boxes down from the attic. I'm like, let's use the free labor when we got it. The building thing. Like, you want to move?
They're gonna raid our fridge anyway. Let's just.
Yeah, they're young. Their knees don't hurt like ours do. Come on.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't get my stepson to do anything unless I threaten him.
Your mirror stepson is a really good stepson who does stuff all the time.
Who doesn't total my car.
Not only that, he went out and carjacked a Lamborghini for you, sir. He's and spray paint and washed all the blood off the seats. He's awesome in the mirror.
My mirror stepson is also someone who didn't rear end someone in Southern California 2 years ago and got served with a $2 million lawsuit the other day.
Oh, crapolas.
Yeah.
Neck injury. Served. Well, you have to do the Brady Bunch defense. You have to get.
Oh yeah, it's the whole emotional distress, lost wages. It's like 2.2 million or something.
Yeah, it's one of those BS ones. Yeah.
But now he has to deal with it.
On judgments in Texas, he's not going to deal with it.
I don't know.
Texas won't enforce an out-of-state judgment. You only have to pay a judgment. Last time I checked, the only judgment in Texas was if you cheat another Texan. then they're really particular about getting.
Well, he was in Cali when it happened.
They're going to be like he treated some fancy left coast liberal. He's all right. He moved here. He changed. He don't need to pay none of this. I mean, if he leaves California, he might get served with a.
Well, what happens is the insurance companies always settle because they want to avoid a trial. So
well, that's what I'm hoping.
There's a trial too expensive. Yeah. No,
you're
but
not allowed to do that in our state. You can't sue anybody for like emotional distress in like a automobile accident. We have no fault car insurance. The insurance has to. If you don't have insurance though, you just go to jail. And you're wrong. You pay a huge fine and you go to jail.
Oops.
Well, not anymore. You got no bail.
We have very few laws in New York, but we're very particular about enforcing them. We might let you out of jail right away if you promise not to do it again, like in 5 minutes, and have you back there, and then do the same thing 15 minutes after that. But we will hold you to the letter of that law and whatever non-punishment or punishment we have. Hey, Keely's here. What's going on, Keely Chow? It's good to see you. Good evening. Yeah, roll tide. We'll tell you what's going on. We're having our final thoughts on the mirror universe. Guys, vote now, forever hold your peace.
Yeah.
We're going to go around. And first, we did a deep dive on Enterprise Mirror Darkly. I think Mark was here for that. So we all gave our takes. It was an A all around, right? Everyone gave it an A all around when we got it.
Yeah, but what do you think of Archer dying in the end with Emperor Sato, Hoshi taking over?
That was awesome.
I mean,
we're not going back, so it's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, but Merriweather, like the milquetoast guy, like, you know, in on the plot, you know, it's God.
We call him Mr. Prideweather. You know,
Mr.
just like the
Prideweather,
Tholian, yeah. Respect his pronouns the way Phlox respected the Tholians while he was killing it. I'm sorry, while he was the way he respected the Tholians while he was deleting it.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't say I dislike his character, but he's just such a bland character typically. So that was a nice twist to give him something to do, kind of like Ensign Kim on Voyager. That kind of
Sean figured Mayweather out perfectly. Sean figured him out perfectly when we watched Detained. Nothing that Sean came up with has been disproven since. They tried to have Prideweather be his own guy and his own character. And that episode was going to be a big episode to build him up. And when they went to put the chains on him, not only did they feel like, think twice about it because he, of his complexion, they then also were like, if we do this serious thing, this guy is going to recite this like he's reciting like someone's Miranda rights, or like he's reciting like the Boy Scout oath. He's not going to say his line delivery does not have the gravitas for us to have the imagery of like a shirtless black guy in chains. It's too evocative of other stuff. We probably could have gotten away with it with LeVar Burton, because it's precedent. It's not going to work for this bad actor. Go ahead, Sean.
You want another real reason they didn't do that angle with him?
He was too ripped.
No, because he can't sing.
Very musical people, but and they don't send him out to walk on any moons. They really underutilized Prideweather's skill set. Although he did make it to the gym, he was working out pretty hard when the Orion slave.
That guy's ripped. That whole cast was ripped.
Yeah, Archer was
season 1.
I mean,
season 1, man, they were.
How often did we go back and rewind the volleyball scene and with Archer and the gang, right, playing on the planet with the Kurgan? I remember
I don't think that roughly 50-year-old Linda Park and like 71-year-old Archer would necessarily be a prohibitive couple. Like she could be first lady of the Federation, because Mirror Archer is super freaking in love with her, like carrying a major blowtorch. Now I realized that with Prime Archer, it was more that he wanted to mentor her and he had feelings towards her that way. But like we've seen, there was a song called Don't Stand So Close to Me that sort of addressed the whole thing. We've seen, like, especially with adults, and in colleges, sometimes professors date the students. I don't think there's anything anyone can do about it. It looks bad, but they just do it. I don't necessarily think that I think under the right circumstances there would have been a romance between Archer and Hoshi. I don't think she thought of him as like some kind of stodgy old dude. He looked amazing for 46, which is what he was when they started the show. And what was she, 25 perhaps? You know, she looked fantastic, and like it wasn't unbelievable when her and Mirror Archer were together and no one was laughing at it. And also, I think as men, we all believe the man should be 20 years older than a very hot woman, right? I mean, that's I think that we all think that we think that.
I think he's going to end up being, if we get united.
Not that I'd do it, but it's ideal.
If we do get united, do you think he'll end up with Rodriguez or Hoshi?
Captain Rodriguez is Captain Surprise Eyebrows.
Yeah, but they had a romance, like a legit relationship. I could see them.
I think he's going to be single, and he will have been a coxman in the past and have
because Sussman's story has him have 3 kids.
You don't have to be married to have kids. Mick Jagger has like 16 children.
True,
he's still having kids, probably.
But you don't see many presidents that. Well, I don't know. I think they'll give him a.
How many kids does Clinton have out there?
Well,
sir, one of them lives across the hall from me.
Yeah.
They're only 16, sir. Actually, I just heard the news today. You know, we were sad to hear President Clinton has Parkinson's. That sucks.
Really?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
It explains a
lot. That explains the shaking, and the people were commenting on
this voice
a few years ago. Yeah.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah. I mean, we don't like his wife a lot more than we don't than him. You know what I mean? Like I don't think he wasn't hate worthy in a lot of ways. I don't know.
Unless your name is Juanita Broderick, but we won't get into that.
Well, even if Hillary came down with something, it would suck, even though I don't like her.
Yeah, you never should wish anyone to be physically harmed or ill in any way, shape, or form. It's just bad karma. It's bad karma, and it comes around to get you in the end. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather just put them in the agonizer booth. That's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing permanent. Yeah.
It's not permanent. Yeah.
By the way, Wes Cagle, you'll be pleased to know that it is highly likely that Mike Sussman's favorite baseball team would be the Phillies because he's from Philadelphia.
If I could do anything to Hillary, I would just constantly switch her toilet paper the other way around. I'd sneak in the bathroom and switch the toilet paper so it's going behind. And she's like, "Who did that?" Just do it all the time.
I thought her stuff doesn't stink. I thought she's so highfalutin.
Oh, radioactive with the sick burn. It might be. You know what? In Primary Colors, they outright said that he was doing it. I believe that Bill Clinton probably had a few whiffs of cocaine as president. But I'll take it further. I think that not W, but I think George Bush, the father, did a few lines of coke during the fucking Gulf War because
Bill
there was
never
a couple
inhaled.
of speeches. Why would he ever inhale? Right? He took gummies instead. I mean, he's like,
Right.
make me some gummies. I can believe that he
did. They have gummies back then.
I can believe that he fucked up inhaling, or he didn't inhale and he switched to edibles. They had edibles
brownies.
back then.
They do brownies, but I don't know.
They had some form of edibles back then. Somebody.
Well, I know there were people who would make brownies with it, but I didn't know if they'd make gummies.
Sean, if you ever had become a big pothead, you would have figured it out in like 2 weeks. So I mean,
I mean, people figure out ways to make a bong out of an apple core. So I'd be.
I might be one of those people. Brownies made with cannabis butter. Yeah, that was the original edible. I believe Bill was eating a lot of them. He's like, Monica, bring me some brownies and a cigar. Wait, how were you able to smoke cigars? Hold on a minute. Seems to me this man probably was able to inhale.
You don't inhale cigars, though.
The way Monica got in was she was delivering pizzas. Don't forget that. And she said she flashed her thong. So that was due to the government shutdown when they shut the government down. And then so Monica was able to get close to the president only because of the government shutdown. So it was pretty hysterical.
She said she did want to. She said that she was working it and trying to flirt with him.
She was, yeah. It worked. It worked, yeah.
See,
when she was delivering him pizza, yeah.
huge side tangent on this one. We'll bring it to a close like this. I believe all the women that say that Bill Clinton was what the British call a sex pest. Like, I think Catherine Wiley has like a really believable story that every day he just like didn't believe that she didn't want to have sex with him because he couldn't believe that anyone wouldn't, because he's had sex with himself like several times a day and thinks that everyone wants to, because he was just that loopy. And like the one person I don't believe is the lady that said like he like threw her through a plate glass window and slapped her around for like a half an hour and then made her do a bunch of stuff and then beat her up more. And it was like threw a towel at her. It was like, clean yourself up, you're a mess. It's like right out. I think the Family Guy parodied her accusations with Stewie fighting Brian across the bathroom, like throwing him through the shower stall and stuff like that. He's like, you're a psychopath.
Jennifer Flowers too. No one believed her, and Letterman famously made the joke. Bill Clinton at El Camino with AstroTurf in the back, and he said that's where he first planted flowers. Now it's confirmed. And I don't think people care as much about people having affairs. Look, the stuff that's come out of JFK. I mean, some of it actually was quite repulsive, but when you read about it, but it's just, Monica was like his daughter's age and it was a freaking intern. It's like, it's okay if it's Marilyn Monroe, but someone that we're joking before about the age difference, 20-year age difference, but
he wants to get with her again now.
People, yeah.
Have you seen how she looks these days? She's
Monica's
also
very
grabbed
pretty,
some Ozempic. No, but she grabbed some Ozempic. She's kind of real svelte these days too. So Bill's probably like, I got that. I got that.
She's not letting him anywhere near her.
Yeah,
she liked him already. I don't know, man. Maybe Hillary, if Hillary precedes him. I think that would be the most hilarious end to that story, is if like 10, 15 years from now, Hillary just, succumbs and like a then 58-year-old Monica just quietly marries Bill Clinton. It's like, yeah, we've been together all these years. Technology kept our sex life alive.
Oh my God.
Talk
about a mirror universe. Could you imagine mirror universe where
smart?
Clinton kicks Hillary out of the White House and has Monica move in, and she becomes Emperor Monica, right?
She would be in her 11th term right now.
Yeah, she takes over. Yeah.
You know what? That's probably what happened. You know what? We'll put a pin in the we'll put a pin in the conversation, and wrap this one up. Because we're there.
Put a pin in the blue dress and we'll move.
Yeah, you know what? My dream is to, when they were auctioning the blue dress, my thought was, if I could buy that, I could clone my own little leader of the free world and bring him around with me. Yeah, and just be like, it's like, how do we know that your business will do better? It's like, because I got Bill Clinton doing my books and business strategy. Like, how you doing?
Yeah.
But we want to thank everybody and just give our grades. We gave them before there were A's, but let's see what you guys had to say in your poll, and I'll entertain the question to the panel before we wrap up this bad boy. We asked you a while ago which of the Star Trek shows did the mirror universe the best, and wow, it's not even close. But before I give the answer, I'll ask my panelists who they voted for. Sean, which one did you vote for? The choice was Deep Space Nine, Enterprise, and the original series.
I voted the same way Germ did, which is TOS, because, like I said, you can't build something really good and long-lasting without a good foundation. And that foundation of Mirror Mirror was so strong. I have to give that the best because it was the most important one. I did enjoy In a Mirror Darkly a lot more. I have more fun watching it, but I have to give the props to TOS.
With an asterisk on watchability, just a lot of fun watching Mirror Darkly.
Yeah.
Grateful for it. All right. You know what? The OG one, it's a defensible statement. Mark, which one did you vote for?
I voted for TOS, but echoing Sean's statements, yeah, they're both A+ episodes, and but nothing can, for me, I'm a TOSer, so nothing can touch TOS. It can get close, it can get pretty good, but it just you can never surpass it. So but kudos to the writers of this episode and these 2 episodes, one story. It was just a great. I'm just laughing at lemon pies. I've seen this statement. I never had bleep with that pizza, Bill Clinton. I was laughing. I'm reading it as I'm talking, but yeah, it's just so wonderfully done, and oh God! And then the twist at the end is just so great, right? So
yeah,
to get the Empress, and we love Hoshi, right? So, and it is fun seeing.
And they showcase her beauty so much in this. She's in so many sexy outfits.
Yeah, and it's fun to get the actors, to flip their characters around and just chew on the scenery, and so it's just
that was part of Sussman's reason for wanting to do it too. He said the actors love doing these roles.
Kudos to Linda Park. She had to make out with 3 of the cast members.
It's true. Vaughn Armstrong was like, "Thank you for bringing me back. Thank you so much." When I watched the beginning,
he paid to be on the episode. He didn't get a salary.
I'll do it at scale.
All right, I'll give you $200,000. Just let me get a piece of that. Yeah, he enjoyed it. She did get to make out with 3 cast members. You know what? I'll ask Sean a slightly different question. All right. We all said it was Hoshi's episode. She nailed it. Yeah. Everyone is basically a supporting actor or actress to Hoshi. Who do you think, out of the lead cast and the supporting cast, would you say was your favorite standouts? You can name one of each core cast, and if you want to go with someone from the extended cast, because I have a rather weird choice of my favorite person.
Well, Linda Park absolutely killed it. I would say the other one I like. I love what Connor Turner did. His Trip.
He was great, actually.
Trip was great. He took that makeup in and he became a different guy. I really liked him.
He is. I might have to reconsider my answer, but okay. Anyone else in there? Like maybe a non-regular cast member that you thought was great? Because my MVP is actually Saval. I thought he had a great performance.
I almost chose him.
Okay. I'll throw that back to Mark. Did anybody you thought your favorite performance aside from Hoshi, who just dominates this episode?
You got Hoshi, but Blalock was good, but then she gets kind of sidelined later.
They put 3 sexy outfits on her, but yes.
Yeah, but she's phenomenal. Reed had some good stuff in these episodes too, didn't he?
He was extremely loyal to Captain Archer, just like he was after his Section 31, recovery or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So, but Trip was really good in these episodes too. Again, everyone is really good in these, so it's tough to pick. But I guess probably I'd agree. Trip was probably a nice. And with that makeup, with that big scar on his face, and it was interesting character. Yeah, it was just down in the trenches working in that engine room. So, but it's just really fun when it's done right versus DS9. Then you really enjoy these characters. When the writing is crappy and the stories don't make sense, it's just like, oh, let's get the actors to act over the top or crazy. But there's got to be a point to it, and that's what's fun here. So that final twist in the end, you're like, holy shit, they went there. Yeah.
By the way, here's just really quick for everybody. Real Headcase sent this to me. It's a little too funny. Mark, maybe you want to get started on this now. We might have enough time for you to perfect
I reposted this too. Everyone was reposting this. This is freaking awesome. I was wondering if this is not AI. Is this real? This is not AI. And I guess it's real, right? Now today you got a question like if anything is freaking real.
Here's the thing, it's very possible, and I don't see any mistakes, but
is it a walker?
It is a walker. That's an AT-AT. It's not an STS. It's actually a 4-legged.
No, I mean, it's a walker for the old guy.
Walker. Yeah, walker.
It's really hollow inside, like it should be. He's just not standing within it.
If you play it, you'll show him walking, right? Yeah. That's freaking awesome. That's me in my retirement home.
Different kind of walker. It's got like a basket on it, so he's like at the back end of it. He's really like sort of upscaled this thing.
He's walking the walk, and then you can sit on it. Like, what a great design there. I love it.
Yeah, we're all going to be needing one of these in about 10 years.
Yeah, I mean,
10, 20 more years.
And then there's a massager in the back in the chair too, I think.
That brings to mind a question.
Is this a personal massager?
All right, so what do you got going on tomorrow night, Mark?
We've got the geekery, and I'll be back at the Greenwich Car Show during the day, so I got to kind of get to bed early tonight. But if you saw my live stream today, I got to see all amazing vehicles, a lot of awesome. There were like 10 Shelby Mustangs there, 2 GT.
Wow.
Imagine being able to rent that as a car for the weekend, and Ferraris and McLarens, and so I got so much material for videos now. It's gonna be fun, but I'll do some live streaming from there again tomorrow. But man, we'll talk a little bit about the geekery, but then I'll probably have to do a separate car show. So if you're a gearhead and you like cars, check out what's coming up on my channel, because oh man, these cars are just they're freaking amazing. And you look at the engines in these cars too. It's like I would eat off of that, That's clean enough to eat off of. It's like the cop was directing traffic at the end, and it was like a Ferrari pulling out or something, and she's like, "Oh, sir, you have to wait." I'm like, "I'm just filming. I'm fine." And she did say, "Sir," and then I'm like, then I'm leaving. I'm like, she's like, "Oh, thank you," and I'm like, "Yeah." And I go to her. I'm like, I don't want to get back in my minivan now after that, with all these gorgeous cars going by. So, and then I was leaving, and there was a Porsche, like a $500,000 Porsche racing car, was trying to cut in front of me, or he was parked on the side. So I'm like, go ahead. It was, like the Uber's super sports car Porsche, and I was gonna roll down the window. I'm like, you want to race or something? Say something stupid, but. Oh my God, the cars that were all over.
It's an interesting choice in terms when you said it was an Uber racing, I
was the Porsche. What was it? The GTR. Right. It's like a $500,000 car.
That would make the worst Uber, because if it even has a back seat, they're fucking microscopic. It's like your Uber shows up and it's a Porsche. It's like, well, fuck you. What are you going to tie me to the hood like a deer? It's like, sorry, that's exactly what we plan to do. All right. Yeah. Sean, you just dropped the Voyager model. Is that still your latest video, or is there more?
The final on the Voyager model just stalled. It hasn't gotten a view in a week. It's weird. But I did put out the first episode of the Reliant. I'm building the Reliant. And that one's kicking ass. Yeah, I got almost 300 views on that one now, which is great for me. But I wanted to say, so you were talking about cars. You guys remember that movie License to Drive with Corey
Heather
Feldman?
Graham.
Yeah, Corey Feldman,
and
Corey
Heather
Haim.
Graham, and the 2 Corys.
Yeah, my dad was the picture car coordinator on that. And one day I was in 7th or 8th grade, and I'm walking out of school, and there's a Ferrari in front of the school right in the middle. My dad got the Ferrari from the car and picked me up from school in it. I love it. I was like the star of the school for about 5 minutes. And then we got in the car, and we was at a red light, and some guy in a Mustang or something started revving his engine. He wanted to race my dad. My dad just smoked him. It was so cool. That car was fast.
But he had no idea how much cocaine Corey Haim might have secreted around that car either. So racing in that might have been, it's like, and that's when my dad started his 25-year bid San Quentin for Corey for the cocaine that Corey Haim had.
It's funny. I actually have the license plate to that car in my garage. My dad got it from the prop guy.
So in the club I was in college, they had that poster on the wall for License to Drive. Yeah. I was just like, this movie looks terrible. And then I saw Dream a Little Dream, and I'm like, I'm never seeing any movie with either Corey in it again. And I was like, was Jason Robards born old? How is he still alive? And he lived spins off another 20 years. You see movies with him who are 20 years older than that, and he still looked old. But guys, ladies, gentlemen, thank you. I'll be on sometime during the week, but tomorrow we'll have a special Admiralty member stream a little while after I do Miami Vice, which is 1 to 2:30. So we love you all. and we'll leave you as we joined you, because you know what? It's been an amazing side trek. For 7 weeks now, we have delved into the causality of the mirror universe. There's probably a little more to be said about the mirror universe. We'll think about it during the week, and there'll probably be an addendum discussion at some point. And then when we finish Enterprise, we want to have a discussion with some of the fans of the show on RRTNZ. Definitely will be with us that show. And we'll have some more view on some people from the channel, and we'll talk about why we like this show. And to be quite honest with you, I really do like Captain Archer a lot better than Captain Picard. And I prefer his approach. I think he's a better leader. I think he's more inspirational. And now that we know what Peace Stew is really like the more traditional Star Trek kind of captain thing, he doesn't have my goodwill enough for him to override the fact that he's an incongruous captain. And at least the only good thing is the show's cognizant of that they're doing it really differently. If you notice, most of the other captains, they didn't like Kirk much at all, but they really don't like Picard. The other captains do. The Jellicoe can and him.
Well, in Kirk's time, they didn't like Kirk too much, but
they didn't like Kirk at all.
But afterward, Decker likes him. But
it was Admiral Kirk. They really like him.
Admiral Kirk. Yeah.
Decker doesn't really like him for most of the movie, actually.
No, I mean Commodore Decker.
Commodore Decker likes him because Bones gave him space drugs, I think. But yeah, Commodore Decker does like Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
But if you notice in Court Martial, no one likes Captain Kirk. He's like, I'm glad to see the all my class in the academy is here. How you doing, Bob? And he's like, we all like Ben Finney, Jim. And it's like, whoa, I haven't seen you in 10 years. It's like, yeah, I didn't forget how you didn't try to save the guy from that weird vanilla gorilla on the Magatu planet with that weird, Canutu woman. You were just thinking with your dick the whole time, Jim. Way to go. Way to go. It's none of the other guys at the bar that is actually Blalock's ship, not Blalock's ship. The NX-01 is Blalock's ship.
Yeah.
Blalock's ship, Ron Howard's ship, is the starbase from that episode. It's pretty evident that no one there likes him. None of the officers his age like him. I think it's because he probably was top of his class and annoying.
He rose up so fast. He was the youngest guy to make captain at 35.
Yeah, and they didn't like that. Bred a lot of resentment. And we find out that even though he's a total drooling madman, Ben Finney was really popular. He's in New Trek, he would just be the captain. Ben Finney's a good captain. Let's put him in charge. Yeah, sure. I remember the time he almost destroyed the ship by leaving the atomic coupling open.
There you go. Yeah, in the mirror universe, Mira Finney is the one who's going to take him out.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mira Kira was the best thing about Deep Space Nine's mirror episodes. They were really inferior and they didn't treat it very well. But I want to thank all of you for coming by. And that's when I go and I have a little trick to check who is here. Let's see if I can get everybody. I think I can get you all if I say I want to thank Lombardi 1969, Resolute Juror, Ray Lucard, Crimwan, Buddy Hepburn, Istaphobos, PBE 777, Keely Chow, the Trek reviewer Jonathan Hancock, Lemon Pie Citrus, John the Beagle Dad, Sigvaldason, Michelle Fairytales, Cal L64, the Real Head Case, Jamie Lynn Simmons, West Kegel, Radioactive Actual, RRTNZ, and the Dead Man. And remember, Saving Star Trek is brought to you SideTrekd. SideTrekd is brought to you by the genius of Gene Roddenberry. There is no Kurtzman factor to this one. But it's also brought to you by Star Trek fans like you, including a generous grant from RRTNZ, the Dead Man, Wes Kegel, member for 29 months, Radioactive Actual. And we thank you all. We love you guys. I want to thank you for what's been the best 3 hours and 33 minutes of our week. And with that symmetry, you know what? I guess we should have Michelle say goodbye, and then we'll find out if that's really a massager. Sir, is it okay with you?
Sir, steam is better. Sir, honestly, the dogs are better. Sir, I have the man. Sir, my name is Razor. $1 billion, sir. $1.1 billion, sir. Sir, he has a cold. Don't shake his head. Sir. Sir.
Sir. Guys, hit the like and follow buttons. Please, if you haven't hit like, please do so. 30 likes is kind of a goal for the stream. Where do we get? 25, so close. Oh, please, sirs and madams, or if you're coming through later, hit that like and follow button. And if we get to 30, I'll chapter the show tomorrow so that people can follow along our wild tangent. But we did review the episode. We did look back on the mirror universe. We did recount some real world stuff, and you got to know us, your pals, a little better. It's about the laughter of the panel and the chat together as we laugh at ourselves in the state of Star Trek and the fact that, oh my God, it might come back. Like, it's got a shot finally. So,
and what we say backstage,
which is all completely batshit insane. All right, here she is to say goodbye, and then we'll have a word from Melissa and Avia.
Incoming transmission.
Welcome to Saving Star Trek, a show talking about one of my favorite shows, Enterprise. I am Linda Park. I play Hoshi Sato and also Empress Sato. So enjoy this show. I love that it's finding a whole new life on the streaming services. And you better hit that like button or Empress Sato will not be happy. I mean, she could make a storm happen, and she could really make your life hard. Anyways, enjoy the show, hit that like button, and thank you for being a fan of Enterprise.
We love you all.
All my life, I've wanted to lead a lot of men in a desperate battle. I'm going to do it. I am going to be allowed to fulfill my destiny.
Is this a personal massager?